The following is a presentation of Radio Plus Sports. Radio Plus Sports.
To the end zone. Touchdown. Fond du Lac. 40. He's gone. 30. 20. Touchdown. Spring.
Radio Plus Sports. Recognized by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association in their awards for excellence as the best in high school sports play-by-play in the state.
And the Fond du Lac Cardinals have snapped Kimberly's 70-game winning streak.
High school games video streaming live at RadioPlusInfo.com. That's right. Watch the biggest games live, too.
Touchdown, Fond du Lac!
Broadcast is sponsored by the following local partners.
Edward Jones, Integrity Saw and Tool, Bauer Chiropractic,
Bondi Family Dental, Baker Cheese, Right Way Home Improvement,
Quest Interiors, Addison Jones Real Estate, Holiday Automotive,
Taco Bell, Bristol Morgan Bank, Coal Oil and Propane,
Pioneer Pit Stop, The Spectrum Call Center, Pizza Ranch,
National Exchange Bank and Trust, LK Interior Systems, Silica for your home,
Radom & Stone The Landscape, the offices of Everson and Gibbs, Bob's Pizza,
AirTech, Winnebago Lutheran Academy, Musa Sheet Metal,
Scotty's Auto Works, St. Mary Springs Academy, Canberra Casino,
Fond du Lac Credit Union, Marchant Schmidt, New Medical Center, Dr. Kathy Doyle Kelly, DDS,
Condex Corporation, Fox Valley Savings Bank, BCI Burke, Marian University.
The complete broadcast schedule can be found at RadioPlusInfo.com. Let's go live to the Radio Plus Sports broadcast booth.
Welcome here to Fruth Memorial Field. Jordan King with you up here in the broadcast booth, and you're watching St. Mary's Springs Academy. They're hosting the Darlington Redbirds. High school sports today on RadioPlusInfo.com, presented by Edward Jones and your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. We're going to start with the Integrity Saw and Tool pregame show coming up in just a couple of minutes. Going to hear from Coach Highland. He talked with Nick a little bit earlier this week and previewed this matchup with the number 4 team in the state in the Division 6, which is St. Mary Springs division. Springs, after last week's impressive 27-0 win over a tough Lake Country Lutheran team, they're number 1 in Division 6. So a familiar territory for the Springs, being at the top of their respective division, and this is familiar foes for them. Darlington, they played them last year a couple of times. Springs sweeping that season series. One was early, week 2, just as it is this week, and Springs took care of them down at Darlington, and then in the postseason state semifinal matchup, Springs had to make a rampant comeback, did so, and advanced to the state championship game where they finished second in Division 6 a season ago. Springs trying to do one better this year, maybe win a state championship, add another gold ball to the prestigious trophy case of Coach Highland, and they're led by their senior quarterback, Cullen King, 6'6", 185. King has a ton of weapons. Talk about Lucas Ramaker. Obviously, he's got the ability to turn and give to Levi Hempfner in the backfield as well, among a couple of other awesome offensive weapons. We'll get to talking about how they did week 1 in that 27-0 win over Lake Country Lutheran a little bit later on here in the Integrity Saw and Tool pregame show. We're going to take an early timeout here, come back, and we will continue on. This is the Integrity Saw and Tool pregame show, and you're watching Springs football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Today's game is brought to you by Edward Jones and these area Edward Jones financial advisors: Dan Sprader, Kathleen Taves, Patrick Ellistad, Matt Moses, Jeff Will, Ben Beercheek, and Pam Tollefson. Good luck to all athletes in today's game. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
When you hire the attorneys at Everson and Gibbs, you're getting more than professional representation. The attorneys at Everson and Gibbs are committed to excellence and have been successfully representing their clients since 2005, practicing business law, estate planning, probate, guardianships, and real estate. They work closely with their clients, providing exceptional legal services that are catered specifically to their needs. Call Everson and Gibbs at 920-922-7113 or go to eversonandgibbs.com.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. all you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem.
My name is Jim. Came to New Medical for bad knee pain. Before that, I couldn't squat, kneel. I had difficulty getting in my truck. 12 weeks later, things are getting better and improving every day.
Hi there, my name is Steve. I had a lot of pain in my right knee due to arthritis. The results I've experienced have been a lot less pain in my knee. I'm able to walk up and down steps a lot better than I was. I would highly recommend the procedure to anybody that's been talking to an orthopedic surgeon. They wanted to perform a full knee replacement on me, and I thought, I'm pretty young for that, so I was looking for other alternatives.
Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
The Rademan family has been quarrying and producing natural stone products for over 50 years. Hi, I'm Brock Rademan with the Rademan Stone and Landscape Company. As the first member of our fourth generation family-owned business, I'm proud to carry on the tradition of providing quality stone products to Fond du Lac and the surrounding areas. Is your driveway in need of repair? Here at Rademan's, our crushed stone division provides our customer with stone needed for maintaining your gravel driveway. Our quarry stone division provides landscape stones such as stepping stones and retaining wall stone for your outdoor living areas. We also offer natural thin and full veneer stone for interior applications such as fireplaces or outdoor applications to combine with or replace your siding or brick. Whether building or remodeling, veneer stone can add a natural look and feel to your home. Our natural stone is available in many different textures, sizes, colors, and cuts. Stop out at Rademan's and see our indoor-outdoor stone displays, or like us on Facebook to see some finished projects. Rademan Stone and Landscape Company, where we have the materials to do the best work on earth.
Back here at Fruth, Springs and Darlington. What a couple of games here at Fruth over the last, 12 hours, about 16, 18 hours or so. Last night, Fondy and Franklin got after it. 42-20 win for Franklin over the Cardinals. That was a top 6 matchup in Division 1. Now a top 4 matchup here in Division 6. Number 1, St. Mary's Springs Academy, hosting the Darlington Redbirds, their number 4 in Division 6. Springs is going to receive the kickoff. Darlington won it, deferred to the second half, so Springs will be attacking the south end zone here in the first half, the one that they're currently warming up, trotting into right now, so hoping that they can replicate that once things get going here. Going back to last week, Springs get that 27-0 win over Lake Country Lutheran. Cullen King, 50%, 8 for 16, 140 yards. Springs did some damage on the ground as well, though. Got 4.5 yards per carry from Jonathan Korb. He went for 58 yards on 13 totes. Hempfner had 11 for 40 and 3 touchdowns for Springs. So he did most of the scoring damage, as you would expect. Hempfner coming back, one of the players to watch in the entire Flyway Conference, and certainly for this St. Mary's Springs Academy team. Defensively, a couple of guys to highlight. The leading tackler for Springs was Tom Kaufman. 9 solo tackles, 11 total tackles, including a sack there in Week 1. He recovered a fumble for Springs as well. Josiah Mowell, one of the defensive backs for Springs, had himself a ball game. He forced the fumble that Kaufman recovered and also had 2 picks in the game. Just a tremendous performance from Mowell. And, of course, you look up and down this football roster and you see some of the talented basketball players for Springs as well who are looking forward, I'm sure, to the winter season after hopefully a successful fall football season here. Josiah Mowell and Ramaker, Baker, Kuhn, all of these guys, tremendous players for this football team out wide, and these are the guys that Cullen King has at his disposal, and which is why Springs is such a tough offense to deal with. All of that, and Springs still wants to punch you in the mouth. Talking to Cullen last night during that Fondy game, and you know how Coach Highland wants to operate things, and Springs always physical up front, always able to run the ball between the tackles, and with a guy like Hempfner, you can do that. And then when called upon, King has been efficient over the course of his couple years as the signal caller for Springs. We're going to take a timeout. You're going to be able to hear from Coach Highland. Nick caught up with him earlier this week. We'll come back, and you'll hear from him on the Fondy Family Dental Coaches Smile interview. That's coming up next on the Integrity Saw and Tool pregame show. This is Springs Football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Mishaps like accidents, auto glass chips, and breakage happen. So it's good to know that the new state-of-the-art Holiday Collision and Glass Center is here for you. Count on Team Holiday for expert collision and paintwork, mobile auto glass fixes and replacement, paintless dent repair, and much more.
This is 2022 Heisman candidate Braylon Allen. As a running back, I know how it feels to be in a collision. When your vehicle needs rehab, trust the Holiday Collision Center to get it done right. Drive Holiday and discover the difference.
Real memories deserve real cameras.
Dr. Shane Bauer of Bauer Chiropractic for progressive and traditional chiropractic care. If you're in pain, Bauer Chiropractic offers unique ways to provide relief for many types of pain and conditions. New to this area is MLS Class 4 cold laser therapy, which can be very effective with treating many nagging injuries such as plantar fasciitis, tennis elbow, shoulder pain, knee pain, and many others. Pain relief and prevention are 2 reasons to see Dr. Shane Bauer at 355 North Peters Avenue, Fond du Lac, or log on BauerChiroFDL.com.
One of the neatest projects and programs that we have that I truly believe in is our 5 Cents for the Future program. Every time a customer swipes their Bristol Morgan Bank debit card, we donate 5 cents to our scholarship fund, which is administered by the Fond du Lac Area Foundation. And we provide scholarships for local students that are going to 2-year, 4-year school. We're there for up to a 4-year renewable scholarship.
Bristol Morgan Bank. Locations in Oakfield, Fond du Lac, Brandon, and Van Dyne. Log on, bristolmorganbank.com.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. All you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem.
My name's Gary. I had arthritis really bad in my right knee over 3 months ago. Couldn't really do anything, couldn't do stairs, just simple stuff. And now I can do things I couldn't do before. I can climb stairs, walk, anything. My spine's better. And my personal opinion is you're a fool not to get this done.
Hi, my name is Joni. I came here because I needed a new knee, but I didn't want to go through all that surgery and everything. I'm very pleased with it. And the reason I did it because I couldn't go up and down stairs very well. I couldn't work too long hours and had a hard time getting in and out of the car. I had to lift my knee up. And now I can do all those things. And I have no pain, and I would recommend it to everyone, and I have.
Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
Integrity Saw and Tool pregame show continues on RadioPlusInfo.com. Springs and Darlington Saturday afternoon at Fruth Memorial Field in Fond du Lac. And Ledger's head coach Bob Hyland. Bob joins us on the phone line. Good to talk to you again, Coach. How are you today?
Real good. Good to be back for another season with a win under our belt, so we're ready to go again.
Let's rewind the tape here if we could, Bob, and go back to Saturday night. Took on a tough Lake Country Lutheran team, and you shut them out.
Well, our defense we knew was going to be a lot better than it was last year. We had quite a few kids out of there. Last year we were dominated on defense by Billy Schroff, but we had a lot of kids that were injured, especially in the defensive backfield. And as we went into the game, we figured that one of our strong point really is going to be our defensive team. And Lake Country Lutheran has a unique offense. They run the ball, but they're dominated by the quarterback running the ball. And last year they had a fantastic athlete in Hartle, who's now at the University of Wisconsin. We just got better. Let's put it that way. I think we're better in the linebacker and defensive back. A lot of those kids got a lot of experience, so hopefully we can continue that.
Levi Hempner with 11 carries for 40 yards, 3 touchdowns in the game. Cullen King, 8 out of 16. Passing for $140 in the contest. A pretty solid offensive skill position play, too.
Well, again, we changed the offense up quite a bit. Cullen had a couple of misreads. He's throwing the ball very well in the scrimmage and in the game. We had 2 drops right in the hands. So it could have been a lot better. But there's a few times where he's got to throw the ball where a kid like Ramaker, who towers over defensive backs, can just go up and should win the jump ball. And he's not giving him a chance. So we're still working on it. We're still working on, well, you know me, I'm looking for perfect game, but it never happens. Our offensive line is the one that we worry a little bit about. Young and inexperienced, and they came through on Saturday. Hopefully they can get a little better and improve. So we still got, it's a work in progress.
Redbirds come to Fruth. The Darlington Redbirds, a team coach that you're familiar with. They won this past weekend as well, beating Platteville 47-14. Have you had a chance to review some of that tape and have a peek at Darlington, what they like to do?
Well, that's what we're doing a lot of. Their offense hasn't changed. They've got quite a few kids back, especially in the offensive line. And as you remember, in the semifinal game, they just absolutely dominated us for probably 2.5 quarters until we got a spark and got going, and came from behind to beat them. But they're a formidable foe. They are very, very good, and it makes us better in the long run. So whatever happens on Saturday, it'll be a great game. Win, it's a feather in your hat. Lose, you go back and get ready for the next one, and then we start conference play, and then you no longer can lose games. It's just a tough situation. We love early non-conference games that will get us prepared for the season.
Caden Burbach, their quarterback, he is a dual attack through the air, 5 of 5 for $149. Also ran for 3 touchdowns, 12 out of 108 yards this past Saturday. So having to contend with him. Any injuries for the Ledgers, Bob, coming into the game Saturday?
No, we're healthy compared to last year. We didn't have to stop the game for anything this last week. We had a couple in practice last week that weren't sure whether they're going to be ready to go. But they're in there. It looks good right now. Hopefully nothing else happens. You hate playing without all your weapons.
Right. Bob, best of luck coming up on Saturday afternoon. Thanks for the time this morning.
Real good. Thank you, Nick.
All right, take care. That's Bob Hyland, head coach of the Ledgers. Back with more, part of the Integrity Saw and Tool pregame show next. Hang on.
Now more than ever, hospitality, restaurant, and retail enterprises demand the quality and innovation LK Interior Systems delivers. EIS takes ever-changing design trends and transforms them into meaningful and memorable customer experiences. Take pride in your work and apply at lkinteriorsystems.com.
Hi, I'm Shannon Schill from LK Interior Systems in Fond du Lac. We are thrilled to be adding to our family. Our shift times can be uniquely flexible because we understand that there's life outside of work. Go to lkinteriorsystems.com to learn more about our open positions.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we believe in happy accidents, like in 1964, when a Buffalo, New York restaurant owner accidentally bought chicken wings instead of chicken necks. The 60s were a crazy time. Well, decades later, and the mistake turned masterpiece is now at Pizza Ranch. Introducing our new traditional and boneless chicken wings, tossed in our signature sauces. 2 more ways to get the country's best chicken available for carryout and delivery. Maybe it wasn't an accident after all, just delicious fate. Pizza Ranch.
Welcome back here to Fruth Field. The Integrity Saw and Tool pregame show continues. We'll continue with the Bauer Chiropractic injury report. Got pain? See Shane. Dr. Shane Bauer, Bauer Chiropractic, voted Fond du Lac's favorite chiropractor in a recent Reader's Choice poll. And you just heard Coach Hyland kind of give you the injury report there, talking with Nick earlier this week. And at this point in the season, you hope that you're still healthy. Sometimes that's not the case, but for Springs, especially with their impact players, healthy so far this season, and that's where you want to be sitting. 1-0, I mean, as good as you could have, maybe not as good as you could have played, but pretty darn close against a good Lake Country Lutheran team. You shut them out and kind of exercised some demons maybe from a year ago when Springs took that one on the chin to Lake Country Lutheran in week 1 and then bounced back and went on a run all the way to the state championship game in Division 6. One of the teams they beat last year in week 2 was this team, these Darlington Redbirds. That was a 20-6 win down at Darlington before having to rattle off 35 straight points in a state semifinal. 35-24 was that victory for Springs in the playoffs. Moving on to the Baker Cheese starting lineup. Start your new career at Baker Cheese today. Visit bakercheese.com to find out how you can apply today. Offensive starters for Springs. Number 3 is Sam Kuhn. 4 is Max Bauer. Jonathan Korb is number 6. Number 10, Lucas Ramaker. 33, the big running back, Levi Hempfner. Up in the trenches, 52, Adam Wilcox. 62, Noah Mowell. 65 is Nolan Baudry. 68, Cooper Longley. And rounding out in the trenches, number 75, Luke Schwartz for the St. Mary Springs Ledgers. Those 10. And then the signal caller, number 7, Cullen King, the 6'6", 185-pound senior quarterback for St. Mary's Springs. So those 11 are your Baker Cheese starters for Springs. Integrity Saw and Tool pregame show, rolls on coming up after this. They'll have starters and anthem here at Fruth. We're going to step aside, and we'll come back when we do. We'll have the Right Way Home Improvement opening kickoff. That's coming up next. You're watching Springs football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Integrity Saw and Tool is a proud sponsor of Fond du Lac area sports. They wish the best of luck to all local teams this fall and winter. Integrity prides itself on being the fastest producer of high-quality cutting tools and providing the most reliable sharpening service in the industry. If you're looking for a challenging career with excellent benefits and a family atmosphere, contact the team at integritysaw.com. That's integritysaw.com.
Hi, this is Danny and Heather with AirTech Heating. At AirTech, our motto is honesty, integrity, and quality craftsmanship.
When it comes to your home, you want the person working on your equipment to be upfront and tell you what you need.
But also what you don't need. We deliver whatever it takes service to take care of you. Our technicians are NATE certified, meaning they are the most highly trained in the industry to be servicing your equipment.
If you're stuck with a broken furnace or air conditioner, call our team at AirTech Heating at 924-6742.
One of the neatest projects and programs that we have that I truly believe in is our 5 cents for the future program. Every time a customer swipes their Bristol Morgan Bank debit card, we donate 5 cents to our scholarship fund, which is administered by the Fond du Lac Area Foundation. And we provide scholarships for local students that are going to 2-year, 4-year school. We're there for up to a 4-year renewable scholarship.
Bristol Morgan Bank. Locations in Oakfield, Fond du Lac, Brandon, and Van Dyne. Log on, bristolmorganbank.com.
I think the thing that makes Holiday worth the trip is the people inside the building.
They all share a common goal of taking care of the customer.
There's a true team culture here. You see it, you feel it, and it makes the customer experience so much better.
Navigate today's car market with confidence and drive inspired with Team Holiday on your side. Say yes to enticing offers and get more for your trade. Choose one that's in stock today or reserve one that's on the way.
Find yours and discover the difference.
At Holiday Mazda, Fond du Lac.
It's worth the trip.
You dream it, we'll fabricate it. At Quest Interiors, we fabricate one-of-a-kind countertops just for your space. And buying direct saves you money. Visit our showrooms today in Oshkosh and Fond du Lac to start your transformation. Quest Interiors, exceptional style, exceptional savings.
Hey, I'm Jeff Cornelli. I'm the owner of Tavern on the Avenue, Bob's on the Avenue, Just Love Coffee on the Avenue. Just Love Coffee is a franchise out of Nashville, Tennessee. We actually interviewed 30 different people, and these people are above and beyond better than anybody else. 90% of the money that is made in the coffee shop is donated to charities. There's nothing in Fond du Lac like this business. It's very upscale, it's family oriented. We got kids games, the kids can play their games, the families can come here at birthday parties and have coffee at the same time.
Mishaps like accidents, auto glass chips, and breakage happen. So it's good to know that the new state-of-the-art Holiday Collision and Glass Center is here for you. Count on Team Holiday for expert collision and paintwork, mobile auto glass fixes and replacement, paintless dent repair, and much more.
This is 2022 Heisman candidate Braylon Allen. As a running back, I know how it feels to be in a collision. When your vehicle needs rehab, trust the Holiday Collision Center to get it done right. Drive Holiday and discover the difference.
Baker Cheese, producing award-winning cheese since 1916. Not only can you find fresh Baker cheese at your local grocer, make the short drive to their in-house country cheese store. Over 100 varieties of other cheeses from the best cheesemakers in Wisconsin. Take Highway 23, go south on G 3 miles, and follow the freshness. Visit bakercheese.com. Baker Cheese, a Wisconsin cheese heritage since 1916.
Attempted 5 passes. Now, quarterback Caden Burbach completed all of those passes, went 5 for 5, 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it's not to say that, and of course that translates to a perfect passer rating for Burbach. So it's not to say they can't do it through the air, but they did tote the ball quite a bit. On the ground, Burbach also the leading rusher in terms of carries, 12 carries for 108 yards. That's a 9-yard average. He scored 3 on the ground. So Burbach accounting for 5 total touchdowns for the Darlington Redbirds last week. Their leading rusher in terms of yards was Maddox Goebel, who averaged 14.2 yards per carry, 8 carries for 114 yards and a score. And then Ross Christ also went 7 for 44 and a touchdown. So everyone that carried the ball for the Redbirds that got more than 7 carries averaged over 5 yards per carry. So it's going to be a little bit of a tough assignment here for Springs in the trenches. Once again, to remind you of the starters for Springs on offense. Number 3, Sam Kuhn, 6'1" senior split end. Max Bauer is a junior, 6'1". Jonathan Korb and Levi Hempfner are going to be the leading rushers. Once again, you would assume a couple of seniors. 5'10", 165 goes Korb, and 6 foot, 200-pound Levi Hempfner. Cullen King's the quarterback. Lucas Ramaker, one of those other options out wide. Going to play some tight end, 6'4", 185-pound big wide receiver for Springs. And then up in the trenches, Adam Wilcox, Noah Mowell, Nolan Baudry, Cooper Longley, and Luke Schwartz. Those the starters for Springs. And, you know, talking about Schwartz as well, he, on the defensive side of the ball, had 7 tackles last week. Springs did a nice job defensively to shut out Lake Country Lutheran. A big part of it was being able to turn the Lightning over, and we'll see if they're able to do that again today against a Darlington team that over the course of the game really took care of the football. Had the one fumble by Ty Christ, but just two attempts for Christ last week. So a couple of teams that will feel like this is an early litmus test for them, as it was last night for both Fondy and Franklin. Franklin passed it. Fondy maybe got some searching to do in the week ahead before they start conference play, and the last opportunity here for both of these teams in the non-conference. Coming up right now, we're going to have the Right Way Home Improvement opening kickoff. From doors and gutters to roofs and siding, Right Way Home Improvement has you covered. Kick off your home project today. Contact Right Way Home Improvement for your free estimate. Call 920-929-8999 or visit rightwaybuilt.com. Well, it was a perfect day just about an hour ago. Sunny, mid-70s, perfect afternoon for football at Fruth, and now the sky's starting to gray. Got the deep blue up out to the west, and we'll see if the rain holds off. About 60% chance is what they're calling for right now, rolling through Fond du Lac area in the next hour. So we'll see how long that holds off. Springs in their home blue with the black down the sides, the white trim, white helmets, and the big S with the pickaxe on their helmets. And for Darlington, they got some busy uniforms going on the road. This is muffed by Springs. Football's still loose, and I think Springs able to hop back on top of it. Yeah, they were. And so some early hearts in the throat for Springs. That was JT Koenig's on the muff of the kickoff. And Springs will start it with good field position. Despite the early pickup, they're still at their own 36-yard line. So not bad for Springs. And Cullen King will trot out there with his offense, and he's going to be under center here first play. One running back and a halfback in the backfield, 2 receivers to the top end. They're going to get a screen pass out top of the screen, and a nice job there by Max Bauer. And first completion for King on the first play of the game. Going to gain 7 yards, going to be 2nd and 3. It was a good block out there by Sam Baker, an opportunity to, maybe pick up even a bigger chunk play for Springs, but they'll take that, staying right on schedule. Team that's very good at running the football, but if you can get that, that's just as good as a run for St. Mary's Springs. Here's the give on the near side, and Darlington knifes through. Once again, that's JT Koenigs, and lost a yard on that, Koenigs. And they're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage. That's not ideal, but he did fight back to the line of scrimmage. He was hit about 1.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Started out on that tight end spot at the top of the screen and then came back around. The hand from King, and it leads to a 3rd and long 3. Give is to Hempfner. Hempfner picks up 1, and Springs is going to be forced into a decision here early on. King looks to the sideline. And they're going to say Hempfner fell forward for a pair, so actually 4th and 1. It is a long 1 yard. It's probably a little bit over 1 yard for Springs. So a big opportunity here for Darlington to get off the field early. Springs going to want to start a lot quicker than they did last year in the state semifinal when they trailed 24-0 to these Darlington Redbirds. Give to Hempfner, and he's going to fall forward. That's a tough run from Levi Hempfner, and that makes 4th. If you can run the ball like that, that makes 4th and 1s pretty no-brainer. If you're Coach Highland, he goes for it. 2-yard carry, needed 1, and Hempfner and the Springs get their first down here today. Another first down means moving the chains. That's presented by Addison Jones Real Estate. Call them, then call the movers. So 4 plays to get 11 yards, and Springs is out near midfield at their own 47. Started this drive at their own 36. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Here's King's second pass, and it's caught here by Baker on the near side, and Baker's going to pick up 5. Sam Baker, his first reception of the night, and King has started out here 2 for 2. It's going to be 2nd and 5 here on this near hash. 9:57 on the Quest Interior scoreboard, still scoreless between these two. Top 4 teams in Division 6. First drive of the ball game. Darlington won the toss, deferred to the second half. Here's Springs. Cullen King has it, turns, hands around the right edge. That's Korb, and Korb is wrestled down after a gain of just 1 yard. Saw a lot of big plays last night in that Fondy-Franklin game. Most of them made by Franklin. Couple big pass plays over 40 yards. Springs just wants to, like we said in the pregame, kind of punch you in the mouth, and I think Darlington will feel like that's the way they want to play as well. A couple of teams that we're going to find out who can do it better here today. A couple split to both sides, 3 in the backfield. On the jet sweep motion, that's Bauer, and Bauer is eaten up in the backfield. Max Bauer, a little bit of a jet motion, misses breaking that tackle by just the shoestring, and he's going to be brought down for a yard loss. 4th and 5, and now Springs sends out the punt unit. So 1 first down for Springs here on the opening possession, and then it stalls after they get into Darlington field or Darlington territory. Snap back, and a punt is a line drive. Couple of Redbirds back there. They're going to fake the pitch around, and to this near side, nice tackle on the coverage. That's number 24, Brendan Gerdig. And that's good coverage on what would have been about a 15, 25-yard return had Gertig not made that play. That was Goebel on the return for Darlington. So the first opportunity here for the Redbirds will be from their own 19-yard line. And we'll see what Darlington can do off the bat here. Once again, their quarterback, Caden Burbach, looking for his first incompletion. I'm sure he's not looking for that. but he has yet to have an incompletion here this season. In the backfield with him is Maddox Goebel and Braylon Goebel. They got 3 backs back there. The give here to the near side, and trucking a Springs defender is Maddox Goebel, and he's going to pick up about 3. Maddox Goebel was the leading rusher last week, not Braylon Goebel. Good pursuit by Springs to kind of string that out to this near left side as Darlington moves towards the north end zone here. Once again, 3 players in the backfield for Darlington. That heavy run, they're going to run the same play around the near side, and Goebel picks up about another 3. So it's going to be a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. See where it gets spotted. Looks like it's going to be a 3rd and 4 opportunity after back-to-back gains of 3 for Goebel.
3rd and 4.
7 minutes and 25 seconds. First opportunity offensively for the Redbirds here this afternoon. And a team that wants to run the football, they're going to say we averaged well over 5 yards a carry last week. I think they're probably going to say let's turn and hand this football, see if our guys up front can get the 4 yards. It's going to be close. I think they probably just about got their ball's going to be spotted at the 30-yard line. That's 42, I believe, Ross Christ. It is. And he got 5. They needed 4. So 3 plays and 11 yards for Darlington as they move the ball here early on. They're going to go back into the huddle up, and Burbach will go under center. The 3 players they have in the backfield, Maddox Goebel, Braylon Goebel, and then Ross Christ in the backfield. Burbach under center, turns, gives to Goebel, and there's a seam on the outside, spins once, and he picks up 5. That's a tough run from the junior, Braylon Goebel. Maddox Goebel, just a sophomore for the Redbirds. And gains of 3, 3, 4, and 5 now for the Redbirds as they look like they're winning the battle in the trenches here early on. 6 minutes and 12 seconds here in the opening quarter on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. And they've stayed in this 2 tight end, 3 backfield set. Turn, hand here to Chris. No, keeper. Flipped out to Goebel. Goebel around the left side. Almost breaks the tackle. Nice tackle made by Corbin Langfeld to stop what would have been a bigger gain, but yet still picks up 11 on that play. That was a terrific read there by Burbach to pitch it out to Maddox Goebel. And Goebel's having himself a nice start to this afternoon. He's got 17 yards on 3 carries. Tight end to both sides of the offensive line, and then that wishbone in the backfield. And Burbach goes back under center. Turn, and the give this time up the middle to Christ, and Christ picks up a pair. So far, what stuck out to me from the senior quarterback Caden Burbach here this afternoon is so far he's made the right read on everything. That time had a Springs player right in his face, hit him as soon as he gave up the ball to Christ. Last time the Springs decided to go with Christ, so he kept and pitched to Goebel. 5 minutes and ticking under that 5-minute mark here in the first quarter as Darlington continues to move the football. Here's Goebel, and that ball came out late. We'll see if they blow the whistle. They are going to blow the whistle dead and say his knee was down at the 46-yard line of Fondy. It's going to be a pickup of about 6 yards, 7 yards on that one. That was Braylon Goebel that time. They're going to say it was a gain of 6 on that play. Leads to a 3rd and 2. First time this afternoon that Darlington has been in Springs territory. They stay in that wishbone formation. Burbach takes it, gives, no, keeps, and that was maybe the first time that maybe made a little bit of a incorrect read. I think Ross Christ would have had the first down. Instead, it's going to bring up a 4th and 1. I would expect this will be an easy decision. They're in no man's land anyway. You're not going to punt from the 45 or the 45-yard line on 4th and 1. So what can Burbach in this Darlington Redbird offense do with 3 minutes and 50 seconds here in a scoreless ball game in the first? Springs had a 4th and 1 on their first possession, picked it up with a 2-yard Hempfner carry. This Springs big play. That's Hempfner right on cue, and Springs forces Darlington over on downs. Knifing through was Levi Hempfner. They lost 2 yards on the play through Goebel, and an 9-play drive is going to end with nothing. It's going to be near midfield, own 49-yard line for Springs. What a play by Levi Hempfner. Read that tremendously well and just came shooting through that offensive line into the backfield, made the tackle. Right on cue, talking about Hempfner picking up a 4th down. This time he is stopping a 4th down. Here's King. Looks to the near side. Got a man. That's tough defense. Thought maybe the cornerback might have gotten there a shade early, but no flag forthcoming as Sam Kuhn ran a little hitch and ball was delivered just a touch high. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Second chance here, second opportunity for Springs offensively. And it's going to be a 2nd and 10 on their own 49. Had his man on this near side around would have been about a 10, 12-yard gain. Here's the snap to King. King straight up the middle, and Hempfner picks up about 3. 3rd and 7. They're going to send Kuhn back onto the field. Is St. Mary's Springs. That was Ross Chris, their fullback for the Redbirds. That was the first one there on the stop. Also, Brian Lazaro Mendoza, 6 foot, 261-pound senior nose tackle for Darlington. Here's the snap to King. King looks to the near side, has a man, and we'll see if there's no flag forthcoming. They're going to say that's incidental contact. Tommy Koenigs had his feet get tangled up. He ended up getting tripped. Fullback coming out of the backfield, but no flag was forthcoming. So it leads to a 4th and 7. Springs sends out the punt unit once again. Both Goebels back to potentially return it, both Maddox and Braylon. Couple of incompletions that time for Cullen King, leading to a punt. At least that's what we would assume. It will be a punt. This one's high, and it's going to go to Goebel. And Goebel cuts once, cuts twice, and now a host of Springs players stifle him at the 21-yard line. So despite the offense going a little bit stagnant here for Springs, just, 2 possessions, so plenty of ball game left to get things working, but 2:35 left to go here in the first quarter, and we haven't had a chance to take any stoppages so far. It's been just about running clock with both teams' desire to run between the tackles. Certainly Darlington wants to do that, running that wishbone concept. And they'll have it here from their own 21-yard line, or 22-yard line is where they're going to say that starts the possession. The turn and the give to Maddox Goebel, and Goebel is ridden down in the backfield. He's going to lose a pair of yards on that play. Couldn't tell who the first Springs player there was. 62, Noah Mowell was one of them that got out of the pile. And I think he was one of the first couple Springs players there. Caden Pitts also on that side of the line. And for the first time, we're going to see a different set from Darlington. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom, just 1 back in the backfield, and that's 42, Ross Christ. Here's the turn and the give to Christ, and Christ is met in the backfield once again. Hempfner just dominating the Darlington offensive line. That's going to lose another couple of yards. Just 1, they're going to say. And Hempfner making his presence felt early. Maybe not so much on the offensive side of the football, but certainly here defensively, he's responsible for 2 tackles for loss in the backfield on a big 4th and 1, and just there to make this a 3rd and 13. 3 receivers now to the top, no tight ends. 1 receiver down here to the bottom. That's Carver Fitzsimons. And Fitzsimons is the guy that you got to look to if they're going to pass. Oh, this one's picked off. Guess who? Levi Hempfner. And it's an instant scoring opportunity for St. Mary's Springs. The first incompletion for Caden Burbach on the season. And it ends up not touching the ground. It's Hempfner on the pick. So Springs instantly into goal-to-go scenario. I think they're going to say it's sitting on the 10. So it's goal to go after a big Levi Hempfner pick. And what can they do here inside the scoring area? Cullen King under center. A little bit of motion. Here's the give. Near side. Cut up the field. Into the end zone. Springs races out to a 6-0 lead here. It's JT Koenigs who knifed his way through the near side and found his way into that South Fruth Field end zone. And with 59 seconds left in the first, Springs leads at 6-0. 1-play scoring drive, and they lead at 6-0 on the Quest Interior scoreboard. Terrific run there by Koenigs to pick his way through the offensive line. Had a huge hole, and the extra point is up and good. So after a couple of stagnant offensive possessions, it's a big play by Hempfner, and it leads to a score. 7-0 on the Quest Interior scoreboard. We're back after this. You're watching Ledger Football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
All that melty cheese you crave with double the steak is back at Taco Bell. The double steak grilled cheese burrito.
Hey, Fond du Lac's best kept secret is no more. Operation Best Chicken and Friday Fish from his.
Back here to Fruth Field, 59 seconds left here in the first quarter. And as I mentioned, heading into the break, Springs offense a little stagnant in the second drive of the game. But Hempfner put him straight into the scoring area, straight down into the red zone, goal-to-go area. And they pick up the first points of the game. Springs kicks it deep. This is Maddox Goebel, and he pitches it. This is now Braylon Goebel. Goebel misses, breaks a tackle, makes a man miss, and is out past the 20-yard line. He's going to get it to the 24. And that is where the fourth possession of the afternoon will start for Caden Burbach, trying to forget about his first incompletion on the season. He went 5 for 5 last week, as I mentioned in the pregame show. And an inopportune time to have his, not only his first incompletion, but Springs forced him into a 3rd and 13, obvious passing situation. And Levi Hempfner, who has 2 tackles for loss and that pick, here in the first quarter. He has dominated on this side of the football. Back into the wishbone formation goes the Redbirds, and this is Braylon Goebel, and he is ridden down after a gain of 3. Better start this time to this drive. You know, last drive, Hempfner, the pick obviously is important to end that drive, but the first 2 plays, Springs was able to bust through the line of scrimmage and put him in an obvious passing situation. Back judge just had to pick up the kicking tee. Ran a play with that on the field. Here is Maddox Goebel. Cuts up field, and a nice shoestring tackle made by Springs there. On the near side, that was number 8, Gavin Jans, coming out of the secondary and tripping Goebel up. leads to a 3rd and manageable. This is where the Redbirds want to be. It's going to be 3rd and 3 when we come back. Pickup of 4. On the Quest Interiors scoreboard, Ledgers lead at 7-0 over the Darlington Redbirds. Back with the second quarter after this. This is Springs football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Hey, Fond du Lac's best-kept secret is no more. Operation Best Chicken and Friday Fish from a C-store is out. Pioneer Pit Stop. Yes, Pioneer Pit Stop has some of the best takeout in town. The best part, no reservations needed. No need to drive halfway across the country. No special dress code, other than you need to be dressed. You're in and out with piping hot chicken or fish that you thought came from a supper club. Of course, fuel, beer, liquor, ice, snacks, groceries, and tons of other things we all need are always in stock. Pioneer Pit Stop, 20 East Pioneer Road across from Tucker's on South Main Street. It's Fishlicious.
Back here for the second quarter from Fruth Field. 7-0 lead for the St. Mary's Springs Academy Ledgers, and they are leading the number 4 Darlington Redbirds. And that first quarter, I mean, you're looking for an early contender for player of the game. You're looking at Levi Hempfner, who obviously you're so many times you're looking at as what he brings offensively, which is tremendous. But how about defensively so far this afternoon? Couple tackles for loss, the pick. And he was a big part of why Springs is up 7-0 after that first quarter. High school sports today on RadioPlusInfo.com, presented by Edward Jones and your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. So it's a 3rd and long 3 or a 3rd and 4 here, and they're going to try their second pass. They got him, man. It's Goebel on the near side. He catches it over the shoulder. Can Hempfner run him down and save the touchdown? He cannot, breaking the tackle. Maddox Goebel takes it 69 yards to the house. A perfect pass from Caden Burbach. And this thing is an extra point away from being tied up. Maddox Goebel out of the backfield. And he was gone when he caught it. Well, I thought he was gone. Hempfner ran him down. Now there's some laundry on the field. I don't know if that was on the tackle attempt, if there was, if Hempfner got his hand into the face mask or vice versa. They're going to say a face mask on Hempfner. Yeah, they're going to say Hempfner got his hand inside the face mask. So that's a personal foul penalty. I don't know if they're going to take that on the extra point. We'll see. Waiting for the confirmation. No, yeah, they're going to take it on the extra point, so they're going to take it half the distance to the goal. Extra point try will come from the 1 now. And we'll see if Darlington can take a lead. Direct snap to Goebel, and they will not. What a play. That is Lucas Ramaker, who just swallowed up Braylon Goebel in the backfield. And Springs will retain their lead 7-6. On the Quest Interior scoreboard, we're going to take a quick timeout. Springs leads it by 1, but Darlington's on the board. You're watching Springs football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Today's game is brought to you by Edward Jones and these area Edward Jones financial advisors: Dan Sprader, Kathleen Taves, Patrick Ellistad, Matt Moses, Jeff Will, Ben Beercheek, and Pam Tollefson. Good luck to all athletes in today's game. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Here at Pizza Ranch.
Back here at Fruth Field, Jordan King with you up in the broadcasting booth. And 3-play, 76-yard scoring drive for the Redbirds. 69 yards of that coming on that perfect pass from Caden Burbach to his top rushing option and also top receiving option here today, Maddox Goebel. And Goebel came around that left side, caught the ball over his shoulder, perfect pass. And, I mean, that's a resilient play there from Caden Burbach. His first pass attempt was read well and picked off by Springs, led to their first touchdown. And here the second one, he bounces right back with a big play for the Redbirds. Here's a kick down deep. Couple of tackles broken by Gertig on the return. He's going to get it out to the 35-yard line. Not bad starting field position for St. Mary's Springs here for their fourth drive of the game. at their own 35. 7-6 on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. 11:42 to go here in the first half. A quick strike offense coming out of that quarter, between the quarter timeout. Springs was beaten on this near side on a pass play. Only 2 passes attempted so far for Darlington. Neither has hit the ground. One resulted in a pick, one in a touchdown. Here's King running an option, pitches to Hempfner. Hempfner trying to get around the edge, and he's somehow going to get his way back to the line of scrimmage. So all things considered, not bad. He was hit in the backfield by, I believe that was number 8, Regan Jackson. Either he or Carter Murray were on that far side and able to get into the backfield, put the hit on Hempfner, but he fell his way forward, actually gained about half a yard. We'll give him a yard on that. It'll be 2nd and 9. 11:07 and counting here in the first quarter. Springs clinging to a 1-point lead after the 2-point attempt failed for Darlington. King under center, couple options to his top. Now sends a man in motion to the near side. That's Korb. The pass over the top looks to Korb, and Korb just mistimed the jump, jumped a little bit too early. And it's going to be set up a 3rd and 10, for Springs, trying to avoid going 3 and out for the second time here this afternoon. They did so on their second possession, where they were also forced into a 3rd and long. Wasn't a bad pass from Cullen King. I think Korb saw the ball getting on him a little bit quicker than maybe he thought it was going to, and jumped up, and perhaps just a little bit early there on the jump. Sailed over his outstretched arms. 10:47 to go in the second quarter. 7-6 as King goes back under center. 2 tight ends to his right. Looks to the near left side. Bullet pass there, almost picked off. That is a nice play by number 11, Jamison Ahern, who was able to drag down Caden Burbach, and Burbach thought he was going to make another impact play for the Redbirds. He's their quarterback, almost had a pick there playing cornerback. 7-6, and Springs going to be forced to punt for the 3rd time this afternoon after another 3 and out. A little bit of a slow start here for Cullen King. 1 for 5 so far. Completed his first, or pardon me, two for 6. Completed his first 2 passes, now 4 straight incompletions. That's a good punt. It's going to check up, and Springs will down it at the Darlington 35-yard line. That's where the Redbirds will start their 4th possession. Coming up in just a second, we'll take a timeout, come back. 10:32 to go here in the second quarter. You're watching Springs football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we believe in happy accidents, like in 1964, when a Buffalo, New York restaurant owner accidentally bought chicken wings instead of chicken necks. The 60s were a crazy time. Well, decades later, and the mistake turned masterpiece is now at Pizza Ranch. Introducing our new traditional and boneless chicken wings, tossed in our signature sauces. 2 more ways to get the country's best chicken, available for carryout and delivery. Maybe it wasn't an accident after all, just delicious fate. Pizza Ranch.
Back here at Fruth, just missed one play there. They're coming quick out of these changes of possession. Christ carried the ball there up the middle, gained 2 yards. Here's a flip to Goebel. Goebel around the far side. Maddox Goebel has a seam. He's to the 40, to the 35. Big hit there. That was Josiah Mowell who popped him on the far side of the field. And that's another big play by the leading yard getter for the Redbirds. From the 38 down to the 31-yard line. Make that a 33-yard pickup for Goebel. Goebel has a touchdown. He's over 100 total yards on just the last 2 times he's touched the football. And the Redbirds are in business once again deep into Springs territory. At the 31, the snap, the give to the other Goebel, Braylon Goebel this time, and he'll pick up 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8. So 23 is Braylon Goebel. 21 is Maddox Goebel. Maddox is the one who scored this 69-yard touchdown and just ripped off that 33-yard gain. Last week he was all over the place, was Maddox Goebel. He had 114 yards, averaged 14.2 yards per carry last week. did not catch the football, incidentally, for the Redbirds. Here is Maddox around the left side again this time. He gains 3 yards and sets up a third and manageable 3rd and 5 with 9:20 to go here in the first half. Springs still clinging to that 1-point lead. The difference was a 2-point conversion stuff that Springs was able to achieve. Lucas Ramaker busted through the line and made sure Springs kept the lead. We'll see how long that may or may not last as Darlington's moving the football on the last 2 possessions. Here's Burbach. Turn, give. There's Maddox Goebel. Falls forward, and they're going to stop the clock. That means he got enough. Needed 5. He got 5 and 6 inches and got the first down. 8 minutes and 50 seconds, and that'll start winding here in just a second. There you go. High school sports today on RadioPlusInfo.com. That's presented by Edward Jones and your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Burbach will go under center here and take the snap. Turn, the give to Braylon Goebel, and he will get stuffed. Nice job that time. First man there was Tom Kaufman to stuff him after a pickup of 2. I'll tell you what, every time it seems like Springs is doing a nice job and getting there quickly, they're going to say he actually fell backwards there, so no, just a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. But both of the Goebels, it seems like you hit them, and Ross Christ for that matter, seems like you hit them in the backfield and they just, low center of gravity, they just tote you for a couple of yards and able to just push forward. Here is Braylon Goebel once again. Gains 2 there. It's going to set up a 3rd and 7. This is when Springs has had a little bit of success defensively, when they've been able to put Darlington into 3rd and longer situations. Now this is kind of 3rd and medium, but an opportunity here where maybe they become a little bit more predictable and they get out of that heavy run formation. They're going to do that. 2 receivers split out to the top, 2 to the bottom. In the backfield is Ross Christ. He is right behind Caden Burbach, who's in the pistol, and a timeout here coming for the Redbirds. So 7:14 to go here in the first half. We're going to take a timeout, come back. Springs leads it by 1, and this is Springs football on RadioPlusInfo.com. Stay with us.
The greatest gift a parent can give their children is hope for a better tomorrow. We offer that Christian hope at Winnebago Lutheran Academy. WLA is a premier Christian high school open to the Fond du Lac, Oshkosh, and surrounding communities. We participate in the Wisconsin Parental Choice Program and offer generous financial aid, making this private Christian education accessible to all. Schedule a tour today at WLAVikings.org.
3rd and 7 coming up here, and inside the red zone for the first time today is Darlington. And an opportunity to take their first lead of the ball game. Springs scored early. Their 3rd possession of the game. Hempfner picked off Caden Burbach in the first quarter and led to a Springs touchdown. Then right at the change of the first to the second quarter, first play of the second quarter, Burbach then found Maddox Goebel coming out of the backfield on a little wheel route. And Goebel did the rest, took it 69 yards to the house to even things up besides the extra point. So Springs leads at 7-6. 3 receivers to the top. Here's Goebel in motion. Maddox Goebel to the near side now. 2 receivers either side of Burbach. And Christ right behind him. Goebel back in motion, jet sweep motion. They're going to keep with Burbach here. And a nice play made by number 54, Tom Kaufman, once again, the first one there for Springs. What do they do here? They didn't kick an extra point. Not sure the kicking situation for the Redbirds. Just looking back a week ago, Burbach kicked 1 extra point last week in that win over Platteville, 47-14. So not a lot of desire to kick, it would appear. So a pickup there of 4 yards for Burbach leads to a 4th and 3. Chance for Springs to get off the field. Here's a lot of trickery. On the end around, here comes Maddox Goebel, who's going to fall forward and get the first down. Needed 3, got 4. Maddox Goebel, just a tough guy to bring down, and I think Springs is figuring that out here as this half wears on. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the first half. And a first and goal opportunity now for Darlington. Their first score coming on the big play, so this is really their first time down into scoring territory. Under center, Burbach takes the snap, turns, gives, Braylon Goebel. Goebel breaks a tackle up the middle, and he trots into the end zone. Couple of different Springs players had their arms on him, but Braylon Goebel able to break all those tackles, take it for 9 yards, and for the first time this afternoon, Darlington has a lead. They're going to stay on, go for the 2-point conversion with 6:06 to go here in the first half. Be interesting to see what the Ledgers can do, getting the football back, and if they can figure out a way to respond to what will be either a 12-0 or a 14-0 run. Burbach's going to take. Oh, what a play. Kaufman, along with a couple of other Springs players, 52, Adam Wilcox was there as well. So it's going to be 12-7. Springs doing a nice job on those 2-point conversion attempts. We're going to take a 30-second timeout and come back. 6:06 to go in the first half. Springs down by 5. You're watching Springs football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Condex Corporation in Lomira is a proud manufacturer of cutting parts for the agriculture and lawn and turf industry. Condex is currently looking to add to their second and third shifts in various roles: assemblers, machine operator, and CNC operators. See for yourself what it's like to work in a company that's focused on innovation and continuous improvement. Condex offers a great work environment, including a climate-controlled manufacturing facility. Condex Corporation, 1500 Technology Drive in Lomira. Apply online today at Condex.com.
Back here at Fruth, 12-7 is the score. A couple of touchdowns so far for Darlington, but they've missed on both 2-point conversion opportunities, so just a 5-point deficit for St. Mary's Springs Academy against the number 4 ranked team in Division 6. Springs currently the top ranked team in D6. High school sports today on RadioPlusInfo.com, presented by Edward Jones and your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Jonathan Korb and Brendan Gertig, the two deep for St. Mary's Springs. The kick goes to Gertig. He catches at about the 17-yard line, makes a move to the near side, now bounces it back outside, and he's going to be tackled at the 34-yard line. So this will be the worst starting field position for Springs, and when you say that, that means you've more times than not had better field position or better field position than most, than maybe average. 5 minutes, 59 seconds left here in the first half. Cullen King, Hempfner, and the rest of the Springs offense trot back out there, see if they can chip into their first deficit of the season. That last, obviously didn't give up any points last week, so the first 2 touchdowns of the season. Here's the give to Korb, and Korb, nothing doing there. He picks up maybe a yard. We'll call it 2nd and 9. Yeah, about a half yard is what Korb got there. 5 minutes and 41 seconds left in this first half. Ball sits at the 34.5, 35-yard line. First possession, Springs had 7 plays. They've had a couple of 3-and-outs since then, and then the 1-play scoring possession. And Cullen King is taken down in the backfield. First Redbird there was number 32, Talon Christ, and that's a 1-yard sack back to the original line of scrimmage. And he was on King so quickly that he had no option to even pitch it. He had Hempfner around the edge, but a nice wrap-up there from Talon Christ. We've called Ross Christ's name a couple of times offensively as that fullback up the middle, and that time Talon Christ makes a big play on the near side. So a 3rd and 10. Springs has been in these 3rd and long situations quite a bit here in the first half. King, slam down. Busting through the line is Regan Jackson and hits King on the blind side. I'll tell you what, that's a good play by Cullen King just to keep hold of the football and give his team an opportunity to punt. He lost about 7-8 yards on the play, and Springs is in 4th and 18 territory, so a loss of 8. 4 minutes and 13 seconds, and you got a punt to a dangerous player now, Maddox Goebel, the only one back there for the Redbirds. The shorter man is Braylon Goebel. He is going to be the lead blocker for Maddox Goebel. Maddox catches it at the 27-yard line, cuts up the field, and gets to the 40 before he's dragged down. And that's number 22, John Kuhn, covering for Springs, able to make the play. Good field position starting here for Darlington. That's 3 3-and-outs here in the first half for Springs. Now, even if the Redbirds would happen to score here, it'll be a short. It won't be hard for them to remember what happened in the state semifinal when they had a 24-0 lead late in the first half and then a 24-7 lead at halftime, and then Springs storming all the way back, scoring 35 unanswered to win that state semifinal game, make the trip to Camp Randall. Here's Braylon Goebel, bounces around this right side. Oh, hit hard. That's Josiah Mowell who decked him after a gain of 2 yards. And there's didn't see the flag on the field, but they call, oh, there it is, just on the near side. It's holding by Darlington. That was thrown at the 41, so it's going to be 2nd and 19 after they march off that 10-yard spot foul penalty. 3 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the first half. And Springs, now that is a penalty for Darlington, just how they want to play the game. That's a big deal for them because that gets them out of that heavy run settle. They're going to stay in it here with the exception of one receiver to the top. Still got that big package. Here's the first carry for Ty Christ. There's the third different Christ we've called today. Ross Christ had a couple of carries early on. That's Ty Christ who they're going to give 2 and set up a 2nd and 17. And then obviously we called Talon Christ's name on the last possession defensively for Darlington. But 2nd and 17 this is where you want to be if you're Springs. So what can Burbach and the Redbirds do here on the near side? They have Carver Fitzsimons, the only receiver out, split from the line. And just a run of 2. I think that was Maddox Goebel that time. No, it was Ross Christ this time, gaining 2. It's going to be 3rd and 15. And I wonder with 2:38 to go in the first half after you have that big holding penalty, you know, Burbach has only thrown 2 passes. I wonder if this is maybe just an opportunity to be a little bit more conservative from Coach Winkers and not put the ball in harm's way potentially. 3rd and 15 with 2 minutes and 10 seconds or thereabouts here in the first half. I think he's just going to be careful here, perhaps. Here is Burbach. Turns, gives. Goebel ridden down. A couple of different players there. One was Hempfner, and the second one was Ramaker to make sure that Goebel didn't wiggle away. 1 minute and 56 seconds. It's going to be 4th and 15 when we come back. Can the Ledgers get something going offensively? Should be a punt next for Darlington. This is Springs football on RadioPlusinfo.com.
What can I get for $5?
You can become a member of Fond du Lac Credit Union and get some pretty amazing benefits.
Really? Like what?
As a member of Fond du Lac Credit Union, you can take advantage of all that they have to offer, including fewer fees, the best loan rates, in-house lending, and access to all the amazing programs and services.
Wow!
The cherry on top, when you become a member, you become part owner.
That sounds like a great deal for only $5.
Sure is. And it's super simple to sign up.
I'd like to order that.
Oh, I'm sorry. We only sell coffee here.
So a minute 57 left here in the first half. 12-7 lead for Darlington over St. Mary's Springs Academy. Burbach will stand to punt the football.
A new career path.
Springs players down there. Gavin Jans and Jameson Ahern. And there's the little bit of a rugby-style run out. Springs players trying to stay away from it. And if that would have been touched, that would have been trouble for Springs. The close one there was Corbin Langfelt, but he did a nice job to avoid that football. So 1 minute, 46 seconds left. Opportunity here for Springs. That was the first 3 and out for Darlington. Again, very, very, very conservative after that first down holding penalty, which put them in a first and 19 situation. 3 straight runs, only picked up 4 yards on that possession before punting the football back. Perhaps just a nod to the way that if you're Coach Winkers, perhaps just a nod to the way your defense has played here in the first half and has not given up much. Cullen King, couple receivers tie their side, looks to the near side. That is Ramaker. Ramaker makes the catch. He spins forward, and they're going to say he picked up the first down. This started at the 27, gets out to the 37, so a pickup of 10. Springs going to try to go quickly. That was a good route by Ramaker on the out route and a well-delivered ball from Cullen King. That's his first completion since the first drive for Cullen. Now under center, turns, drops back, looks, fires far side jump ball, and that one is swatted away. Sam Kuhn, it was a tough play out there, and Roger Volkening, the third. Nice job as the defensive back on that far side for the Redbirds. Minute 26 left and a 2nd and 10 situation now for King and the Ledgers. Kuhn will be replaced by Sam Baker. Get you some updated statistics coming up here at halftime. The Holiday Automotive highlights. We'll get you all of those. Taco Bell trivia at halftime as well, so stick around for that. Here's Hempfner. No, the give. That was a good fake, and it's going to be Korb on the near side. He's going to pick up nothing there, and Darlington did a nice job to stay home there. And I think it'll be a 3rd and 10. Yeah, they're going to say he picked up nothing. So King in a 3rd and 10 situation. Clock's running, so they go quick. That is a high pass, but it's brought down by Sam Baker. Nice snag by him. And he picks up, Darlington's going to call a timeout here as Baker picks up 8 yards on the play. So it's going to be 4th and 2. And with 57 seconds, now that's a little bit of a thinker, perhaps, for Coach Highland and his crew. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. When we come back, we'll finish out the first half. Springs trails by 5. You're watching on RadioPlusInfo.com.
The wage you. Spectrum is hiring in your area and offering a starting wage of $20 an hour. Whether you're looking to help customers, share knowledge, make connections, or enjoy uncapped earning potential, there's a spot for you at Spectrum, the nation's fastest growing internet, TV, and mobile provider. Plus, get paid on the job training, affordable health care coverage, market-leading savings plan, and complimentary Spectrum services. Visit jobs.spectrum.com today.
Back here at Fruth, and Cullen King is not out there, so I think it's going to be a punt here for Springs. That timeout was taken by Darlington, and why not? You've hit a big play, a big pass play of 69 yards. You have a big rushing play of 33 yards here in the first half. Both of those plays being made by Maddox Goebel, the sophomore. Well, everything. Oh, it's a snap up to Hempfner. Hempfner muffed the snap, and he's still able to plow his way over several defenders. And I'll tell you what, that might well have been a touchdown-saving tackle from Braylon Goebel. And the pickup into Franklin territory is going to be a dozen yards there from Hempfner. So another play that Levi Hempfner has made, a huge one for the St. Mary Springs Academy Ledgers. The Springs does have 2 timeouts. They try to rush their offense back out. Their clock is ticking. 34 seconds left here in the first half. Out pattern, caught there. That's number 11, Jamison Ahern. Springs will have to get a quick timeout. 26 seconds left here in the first half. Ahern picked up 5. So a good pass to Jamison Ahern from Cullen King. 26 seconds left. Can they get into field goal territory? Be an interesting question for Springs here this season. Cole Rotman 2 for 2 on field goals and 3 for 3 on extra points. So I think you got to feel like, you got an opportunity here with Rotman, who should have a lot of confidence. It's funny. Cullen King last night doing the color for the Fondy Franklin game with me. And, you mentioned being a kicker, kind of like golf. If things are going right, if you see a couple putts drop, you get a little bit of confidence. And maybe if you see one lip out or a couple lip out or you hit a bad shot, sticks with you. Rotman's 5 for 5 so far this season. 3 for 3 extra points, 2 for 2 on the field goals. So can you get into field goal range for Rotman here late in this game? Or pardon me, in this first half. 12-7, that would feel like you go into halftime with a deficit that's just 2. You probably feel like you might have stole one. Offense hasn't been stupendous here in the first half for Springs, but good enough to maybe get some points here late. Here's Hempfner. Hempfner picks up 8. Can they get to the line quickly? No, I think they're going to take the timeout. No, here's a benefit. Number 8, Regan Jackson, had his helmet pop off, so that's going to save Springs their final timeout. 19 seconds, counting down. Cullen King. Ooh, did they move early? Yeah, a false start with 16 seconds left. Moves them back to a 1st and 15. The timing situation is important for Springs as well. Got to keep an eye on the clock here when it starts to run. 16 seconds. Should run before the snap. There it goes. 15 and counting down. King takes the snap, drops back to pass. Can't go anywhere. They have a timeout, and a couple of players come together. No flag forthcoming. So we'll see what Springs decides to do here. 2nd and 15. Do they take a deep shot? Do they try to get into field goal range? Couple of interesting options here for Coach Hyland and his staff. 12-7 on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. Eight seconds left in the first half. King is late getting into the huddle, just got the play from the sideline. Can always look at the back judge when he starts to count down the last couple seconds of the play clock. He's got his hand in the air, and now he's counting. King takes the snap. Play fake, looks to the far side. Caught there, and a quick timeout with 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left. The pass was to Jonathan Korb. He picked up, with the penalty yardage, picked up 8 yards to Korb. So Springs gets the timeout. That's a really nice job. Despite what happens here, they're going to send Rotman out for what is going to be a long field goal opportunity. But regardless of what happens, the way you were able to move the ball here at the end of the first half, this started inside their own 30-yard line at their 27. Able to give yourself, in short time, an opportunity to at least attempt to put some points on the board here and tighten this thing up heading into halftime. I think you got to feel good about that if you are a part of that St. Mary's Springs Academy offense. So Rotman's perfect on the season. 2 for 2 a week ago, field goals, and 3 for 3 on extra points. Ball is down, sailing through the air. I think it's going to come up short. Lands about 8 yards into the end zone. That was a tough field goal attempt. It was a 45-yarder for Rotman, and it comes up short. So at halftime, it's 12-7 on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. And coming up next, we are going to have the Holiday Automotive highlights, and hope you'll join us for that. Jordan King with you up here in the broadcast booth at Fruth. Put 15 minutes, it's halftime on the clock, and hope you'll come back with us. You're watching Springs Football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
When you hire the attorneys at Everson & Gibbs, you're getting more than professional representation. The attorneys at Everson & Gibbs are committed to excellence and have been successfully representing their clients since 2005, practicing business law, estate planning, probate, guardianships, and real estate. They work closely with their clients, providing exceptional legal services that are catered specifically to their needs. Call Everson & Gibbs at 920-922-7113 or go to eversonandgibbs.com.
One of the neatest projects and programs that we have that I truly believe in is our 5 cents for the future program. Every time a customer swipes their Bristol Morgan Bank debit card, we donate 5 cents to our scholarship fund, which is administered by the Fond du Lac Area Foundation. And we provide scholarships for local students that are going to 2-year, 4-year school. We're there for up to a 4-year renewable scholarship.
Bristol Morgan Bank. Locations in Oakfield, Fond du Lac, Brandon, and Van Dyne. Log on, bristolmorganbank.com.
March & Schmidt has been a global leader in the manufacture of industrial food cutting solutions for over 55 years. Our staff is committed to using leading-edge technology to create custom designs specifically for the food industry. March & Schmidt is proud of our manufacturing process and strive to produce the highest quality machinery every day. We're focused on one thing, satisfying our customers and giving them the best quality product. A complete turnkey solution provider, integrating both processing and packaging equipment. Our team is focused on our customers' overall success, while the family values drive our relationships.
Come on. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, come on, show me. Come on. Come on. Well, come on. Come on. Yeah. Good boy. Come here. Come on.
Jackson, are you going to come over here?
Apply now to qualify for the SABRE Award, a $500 per year scholarship at Marian University. Be admitted by January 1st and receive a $2,000 scholarship towards your degree. The SABRE Award is granted in addition to other scholarships, awards, and discounts. 100% of Marian University students receive financial assistance. College is affordable. Apply now at marianuniversity.edu/apply.
Back here at Fruth Field, halftime score 12-7 between the St. Mary's Springs Academy and the Darlington Redbirds, the two of the top 4 teams in Division 6. We'll outline what Division 6 looks like in a little bit later on here in the halftime. But here at halftime, Holiday Automotive highlights brought to you by Holiday Automotive. Holiday Automotive, worth the trip. And, a couple of trips to the end zone for the Redbirds. Missed both 2-point conversion opportunities. And then, obviously, for Springs, got out to that 7-0 lead. Just to recap the first half scoring, it was Levi Hempfner who stepped in front of a pass from Caden Burbach. And Hempfner, the senior linebacker, able to take it back about 5-10 yards. And then left the St. Mary's Springs as a first and 10 opportunity. Just a one-play drive. King took the snap, turned, handed to J.T. Koenigs, and Koenigs did the rest. Took it 10 yards into the end zone, and then the extra point was good for Cole Rotman. And obviously against a team that goes for 2 every time and so far has missed both those, the extra points can be important on an afternoon such as this. After that, the very next possession, you got to give a lot of credit here to Caden Burbach, the senior 5'11", 154-pound quarterback, responded in a positive way to that early interception. Didn't dwell on it, found one of his top targets and certainly his top rusher a week ago, Maddox Goebel. And Goebel, on a little wheel route on the near side, caught the ball, took it 69 yards to the house, broke a Levi Hempfner tackle, which not a lot of guys do. So give him some credit on this near side and got the Redbirds on the board. After that, 2-point opportunity was stopped by Lucas Ramaker in the backfield, and that made it a 7-6 Ledger lead. And then next possession, after the Ledgers went 3 and out, Darlington put together what was a 10-play possession, ending with a 9-yard score for Braylon Goebel. Goebel able to take it on the near side, broke a couple of arm tackles from St. Mary's Springs, and that made it a 12-7 game. And then in the 2-point conversion that time, a couple of different Springs, Kaufman and Wilcox combined for to stuff. It was Burbach trying up the middle for the 2-point attempt. So 12-7, kind of an unusual score, but at this level of football, if you don't have a good kicker that you trust, 2-point conversions are very common. So that 12-7 score maybe not quite as uncommon as maybe you might think in other levels. Late there in the first half, though, no points came of it. The long field goal, about 44-yarder from Cole Rotman, came up short. But I think Springs offense has to take a little bit of positivity out of that, because they were able to move the ball from their own 27-yard line, got it into field goal range, did it in tight time constraints as well. And King and Hempfner, a couple of big plays by both of them, spreading the ball both through the air and on the ground. All right, 12-7 with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the halftime intermission. We'll take another 3-minute timeout. Come back. When we do, we'll have Taco Bell trivia. Last night we asked you who the Division 5 state champion was. That was La Crosse Aquinas with a 2-point win over fellow Flyway Conference team to St. Mary's Springs Mayville. And we'll ask you a different state champion coming up here at the other side of the break. That's Taco Bell trivia coming up next. Hope you'll stay with us. This is Springs football. They're down by 5. You're watching on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Our mission is to make car buying fun. It should be exciting.
Working together as a team.
Delivering exceptional customer care.
It's what we do.
I know a great team when I experience it, and Team Holiday is one of the best.
Navigate today's car market with confidence. Get in on enticing offers and get more for your trade. Choose a model that's in stock today or reserve one that's on the way.
Find yours and discover the difference.
At Holiday Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, Fond du Lac.
It's worth the trip.
People have a reluctance to go see the dentist. It's an easy thing to put off or avoid altogether. But one visit to the caring professionals at Fondy Family Dental will change the way you think about the dentist. They provide quality family dental services to all ages in a happy, honest, and efficient manner that teaches and involves you on your custom plan. If you don't have insurance, ask about their new membership plan that can save you money. Call or schedule online today at fondyfamilydental.com.
Condex Corporation in Elmira is a proud manufacturer of cutting parts for the agriculture and lawn and turf industry. Condex is currently looking to add to their second and third shifts in various roles: assembler, machine operator, and CNC operator. See for yourself what it's like to work in a company that's focused on innovation and continuous improvement. Condex offers a great work environment, including a climate-controlled manufacturing facility. Condex Corporation, 1500 Technology Drive in Elmira. Apply online today at Condex.com.
Apply now to qualify for the Sabre Award, a $500 per year scholarship at Marian University. Be admitted by January 1st and receive a $2,000 scholarship towards your degree. The Sabre Award is granted in addition to other scholarships, awards, and discounts. 100% of Marian University students receive financial assistance. College is affordable. Apply now at marianuniversity.edu/apply.
All that melty cheese you crave with double the steak is back at Taco Bell. The double steak grilled cheese burrito.
Back here to Fruth Field, 12-7 on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. Just heard from Taco Bell right before there. This is Taco Bell trivia. Taco Bell now hiring in Fond du Lac at both the East and West Johnson Street location. First correct email, please email your answer to rpvideosports@gmail.com. rpvideosports@gmail.com. So we can't ask you who the Division I champion was because we had Franklin here last night. They beat Sun Prairie last year. We can't ask you about Division V. We asked you last night. That was Aquinas over Mayville. I think a lot of you, if you're St. Mary's Springs or Darlington fans, you probably know who won Division VI. That was Colby over St. Mary's Springs 22-7. So let's go to Division VII. Division VII, who was the champion in Division VII? Email your answer. 2021, it was the early game on Thursday, November 18th, a season ago. The Division VII champion, please email rpvideosports@gmail.com. First correct email wins. 12-7 here with the Division VI. A couple of teams in the top 10 in Division VI, and added up some statistics. Cullen King, 6 of 12, 43 yards in that first half. Hempfner on the ground, 28 yards. And, of course, his impact has come perhaps even more apparent on the defensive side. Several tackles for loss. Had that big interception that set up the scoring chance for Springs. On the other side, number 23, Braylon Goebel, 30 yards in that first half on the ground. And Maddox Goebel, number 21, just a sophomore, 60 yards on the ground, 69 through the air, 129 total yards, and that first touchdown. And the second touchdown was scored by Braylon Goebel. Caden Burbach, 1 for 2, 69 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. So he still has yet to throw a pass this season that's hit the ground. 5 for 5 last week. This week, 1 for 2. But as I mentioned, that incompletion was the pick to Levi Hempfner. So we will await the first correct trivia answer, and we'll come back and tell you who that was. But before we do so, talk about the rankings here in Division VI, where Springs, as they so often do, are sitting at the top of Division VI. Springs 1, Coleman number 2, Mondovi 3, Darlington 4, Marquezan 5, Kenosha St. Joe's 6, Bangor 7, Belleville 8, Abbotsford 9, and Auburndale 10. Those are the top 10 in Division VI. Let's see here. We got a couple of emails in. Got to see who was first. And the correct answer for this one is Reedsville. Try to get you a score here. Had it up and just got kicked out of the app. 17-0. Reedsville took down Coleman last year in Division 7. And the first email we got in by about 30 seconds was Maddie. Maddie picked Reedsville correctly. So Maddie is our Taco Bell trivia question winner this week here on Springs Football on RadioPlusInfo.com. 1 minute left here on the scoreboard. They'll put a couple more to before we get things going here in the second half. 12-7, Springs leads. We'll be back with the second half coming up next. You're watching on RadioPlusInfo.com.
The greatest gift a parent can give their children is hope for a better tomorrow. We offer that Christian hope at Winnebago Lutheran Academy. WLA is a premier Christian high school open to the Fond du Lac, Oshkosh, and surrounding communities. We participate in the Wisconsin Parental Choice Program and offer generous financial aid, making this private Christian education accessible to all. Schedule a tour today at WLAVikings.org.
Scotty's Auto Works for affordable auto care, from tires and alignments to routine auto maintenance. Trust the guys at Scotty's Auto Works, next to Pump and Pantry, Fond du Lac.
Real estate is something that we are doing together. We're in it together till the end. The best achievement that I can have is when the property successfully closes.
Probably the most rewarding part of my role with Addison Jones and Signature Homes is the ability to take a client from the very beginning stages of building a new home all the way down to the point where we turn the key and move them in, and watch their eyes light up as they see the finished product.
Buy it, sell it, build it. That's Addison Jones.
March & Schmidt has been a global leader in the manufacture of industrial food cutting solutions for over 55 years. Our staff is committed to using leading-edge technology to create custom designs specifically for the food industry. March & Schmidt is proud of our manufacturing process and strive to produce the highest quality machinery every day. We're focused on one thing, satisfying our customers and giving them the best quality product. A complete turnkey solution provider, integrating both processing and packaging equipment. Our team is focused on our customers' overall success, while the family values drive our relationships.
Now more than ever, hospitality, restaurant, and retail enterprises demand the quality and innovation LK Interior Systems delivers. EIS takes ever-changing design trends and transforms them into meaningful and memorable customer experiences. Take pride in your work and apply at lkinteriorsystems.com.
Hi, I'm Shannon Schill from LK Interior Systems in Fond du Lac. We are thrilled to be adding to our family. Our shift times can be uniquely flexible because we understand that there's life outside of work. Go to lkinteriorsystems.com to learn more about our open positions.
Back here at Fruth Field, St. Mary's Springs completing their halftime warm-ups. Darlington already ready to play here in the second half. They're going to be the team to receive. They won the toss before the game, and as so many teams do nowadays, they deferred and will get the second half kickoff. But a good job by Springs there, at least to, if nothing else, I thought they gained some momentum at the end of that first half. And again, consolation victories are not fun, and I'm sure that's not what Coach Highland was envisioning, was getting a consolation victory at the end of the first half. But I thought the way they moved the football, again under some pretty hefty time constraints there. They didn't have a ton of time to do it and used their timeouts wisely. Got a couple of first downs that they got up to the line of scrimmage and didn't lose time on, able to get a field goal attempt. Now, again, you don't put any points on the board, and that's frustrating. But still, after having three possessions in the middle of that first half that, ended up in 3 and outs, I think you got to take something away from actually being able to move the ball into Darlington territory. Started at their own 27-yard line, moved it inside the Darlington 30 when all was said and done before the halftime intermission hit. So not all bad there for Springs in the first half. They started out well on the defensive side, turning Franklin over on turning Darlington over on downs, and then Hempfner with the pick on that second possession, and then 3 and out on the last possession. So we'll see what Springs can do here. Rotman will send it deep to get us going in the second half, and it should be a good one. High school sports today on RadioPlusInfo.com, presented by Edward Jones and your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, they are making sense of investing. Rotman will send it deep. Both Maddox and Braylon Goebel back there. Those are the two deep men that might have an opportunity. In front of them, Ty Christ as well as Talon Christ if the ball goes to the up men. Rotman slams this one through the end zone, and the 20-yard line will be where Darlington and the Redbirds start their second half offensive opportunity. Caden Burbach in that first half, as I mentioned during halftime, he went 1 for 2, and neither pass hit the turf. He's not used to that, that's for sure. That wheel route pass, I go back to that possession where he hit Maddox Goebel around the right side, and Goebel took it 69 yards. That was a perfect football. Here's Burbach, turns, gives to Maddox Goebel. Goebel trying to pick his way around the left side of the line, and he's going to pick up an early gain of about 4 or 5, depending on the spot there on the far side of the field. Just starting the second half here. Looks like they're going to give him about 4 yards. We'll give him 4, set up a 2nd and 6. Springs has done a decent job. This is a team that averaged well over 5 yards a carry, probably closer to 10. I didn't do the math on it, but very good week 1 rushing attack against Platteville. This is Braylon Goebel. Picks up 3 yards. Hempfner and was on the play there. Also looked like Tell you what, Kaufman's just flying around the field from that middle linebacker spot. Mowell was over on this side as well. Ramaker sticking his nose in on plays. Got to get physical if you're going to play the Redbirds and have some success. Springs trying to beat them again. They swept them last year. Hefner into the backfield, and that tackle was broken, but meeting him after that was Gavin Jans and Tom Kaufman, and it's going to set up a 4th and 1. Hefner hit him in the backfield. They're going to give Burbach 2, but unless they fake it, they're in punt formation. It's 4th and a long 1. And back to do the punting is Braylon Goebel. Snap to Goebel. It's actually Maddox back there. It's a late kick. Bounces at the 40 and bounds out of play. Looks like it bounced straight sideways. Should be about the 40 or the 39. They're going to say the 40. So it's good starting field position here for St. Mary's Springs. And that's back-to-back 3-and-outs that Springs has forced of Darlington, spanning the 2 halves. So some momentum certainly on the defensive side of the football. A couple of nice plays made there specifically by Hefner to get the penetration, and then by Gavin Jans and Tom Kaufman to back Hefner's effort up and be there to make sure that Burbach didn't fall forward and gain that extra yard that they were looking for. Here's Hefner in motion, gets the carry on the far side of the field. 3 different Redbirds able to stack him up. He's going to pick up a yard. Tell you what, you need 3 guys to be able to hold Levi Hefner to just a single yard. He is a tough runner. Sets up a 2nd and 9, 9:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Springs trying to get something to go offensively. And their possessions offensively in the first half, they scored on the one where they started in goal-to-go territory. They started it at the 10-yard line. But other than that, they've moved the ball, struggled to move the ball other than that last possession of the first half, which did utilize a fake punt, snap to the up man, Levi Hefner, who carried it there around the right edge. Picked up, we're going to give him 6, and sets up a 3rd and 3.
3rd and 4.
Maybe a 3rd and 4. It's a long 3 or 4. Call it 3.5. Burbach doesn't leave the field, much like Hefner's very rarely out of the ball game for Springs. Burbach doesn't leave for the Redbirds either. Here's a running opportunity for JT Koenigs, and he picks up 2. It's going to set up a 4th down. Koenigs is the touchdown scorer for the St. Mary's Springs Ledgers, and King's looking longingly at the sideline, and he's going to stay out on the field. 4th and 2. An opportunity for Springs to stay aggressive here. Ball's at their own 48. They got to get the tip of the football dead to the 50-yard line to be able to make a 1st down, keep this offense on the field. Hefner's in motion. The give is to Hefner. Puts the ball in his right hand, dives forward. He's got the 1st down. That's enough for Levi Hefner, and Springs is going to keep this possession alive. Hard, tough running. Needed 2. He got about 2.5. And with 8:07 to go here in the 2nd half, Springs keeps rolling. Hefner's back out of the ball game. Checking in for him is JT Koenigs. And Hefner probably just needs a break. He's out there all the time playing that linebacker spot. He's just, comes over here to the sideline and just takes a seat. A couple of receivers to either side of Cullen King. 2 tight end options and a running back. Looks to the this near side, and that is well over the head of Sam Kuhn. Kuhn was running the out pattern, and that one was way too tall for Sam Kuhn. 6'1". He'd have had to have been about 6'8", have an opportunity to pull that one down. 7:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. First opportunity of this half for Springs, if you're just joining us. They led this ball game 7-0, and then it was 2 straight possessions for Darlington in which they scored. Here's the turn, give to Korb. Korb around this left side, and good penetration there by a couple of Redbirds. One was Braylon Goebel, the other Carter Murray, who got into the backfield and slung down Kolb. So after the incompletion for Cullen King, Korb able to take it for a pair. I think I said Kolb before. I mean, it's Jonathan Korb. Cullen King looks to the near side to get the play call. And comes back out of the huddle saying still don't have it. Turns and Springs will head to the line with a tough 3rd and 8 here, just inside of Darlington territory. Cullen King under center. Turns, so he's got under immediate pressure, and taking him down in the backfield is Carter Murray. The linebacker came screaming off the edge and swung down Cullen King. He's going to lose about 6 yards on that one and sets up 4th and 14, a clear punting situation here for Springs once again. Lucas Ramaker will enter the game to do that. I mean, Murray just went around the edge, and there was no one there for Springs. This is going to be Braylon Goebel, and Goebel is swung down. Nice coverage on the punt by John Kuhn. There's a flag on this near side. I would think it would be in kind of in that area where holding might occur on punt coverage. And so that if that is indeed holding, it's going to back up Darlington from the end of the run. I'll tell you what, John Kuhn sprinted down there and was able to sling Braylon Goebel to the ground. That was great punt coverage. And they're pointing backwards, so I think this is indeed a holding penalty call. It'll take it from the 15. Half the distance from that will go back to the 7, or check that, the 8-yard line. It was sitting at the 16. Yeah, so hold will put the Redbirds in tough situation. I'll tell you what, that's a good play by both Ramaker with the punt, and punted it plenty high for coverage team to get down there, and then John Kuhn on the coverage. So the 8-yard line is by far the worst field position that the Redbirds have had to start off a possession here this afternoon. The turn, the give to the up man, that is Ross Christ, and Christ falls forward. That is a very nice way to start a drive. Picked up about 7 or 8 yards. Yeah, about 7.5, so 2nd and 3 for Christ. And that's when Darlington becomes difficult to handle on this offense, when they're getting that kind of chunk yardage on first down. Turn, hand to Christ once again, and they're going to stop the clock, which means Christ has enough for the first down. So he picked up 3. Couple of totes for Ross Christ. Go for 10 yards. And just like that, a little breathing room out to the 18-yard line for the Redbirds. I'll tell you what, that football is sitting behind. It looks like it's sitting behind the 18-yard line. You can't call a first down if you know it was at the 8, because that's where the penalty put it. But they were pretty adamant that that was a first down. Here's Ty Christ once again, picked up 4 on first down. This is, like I said just a couple of seconds ago, this is when this is Darlington at their best, when they're getting that. I mean, any team is going to be dangerous when they get 4 yards on first down, or 7 yards on first down, as they did a couple plays before this. Any team's going to be more dangerous. It just opens up more options. Oh, this was blown up in the backfield by Springs. Penetration there by number 62, Noah Mowell. Also 74, Luke Schwartz, busting through there and blowing that thing up kind of at the mesh point. I don't even think Christ was able to get the ball. Kind of a dangerous situation there for Darlington. No gain on the play. Sets up a 3rd and 6. And I guess that's the scenario that you want if you are the Ledgers. If they're gaining 4 yards on first down, if you can stuff them on second, it puts it in that 3rd and medium. Shotgun, and the hand here to Maddox Goebel. Goebel trying to get to the edge. Nice play out on the edge by number 89, Josiah Mowell. And Mowell beat Goebel to the sideline and was able to stuff him. I don't think he gained anything, might have even lost a yard on the play. And based on what we've seen so far from Maddox Goebel, that is a very, very athletic play made by Mowell. Mowell had a whale of a game last week, couple picks and a forced fumble. And he just sprinted to the sideline there and was able to make the stop. So for that won't be a 3-and-out, but just a 5-play drive this time for the Redbirds, and Springs defense starting to very slowly impose its will. Burbach is going to be the one to punt this one away. It's a good one, and it tumbles down inside the 35 to the 33. Check that, the 32-yard line, which is where Springs will start their next possession. 3:43 to go in the third quarter. 12-7 on the Quest Interior scoreboard. High school sports today on RadioPlusInfo.com, presented by Edward Jones and your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. So Springs back out for their second possession of this second half. You got to feel pretty, I just keep going back to that. I mean, we've seen Maddox Goebel make guys miss in the open field. He's run away from a couple of Springs players, and what a play from Josiah Mowell not to add himself to that list. What a great play. Here's a flip to Bauer. Bauer tries to get her on the left side, cuts it now back upfield, and gets north-south, going to pick up 3. 2nd and 7 for upcoming for the Ledgers. Bauer, haven't seen him tote the rock much this afternoon. I just have him down for 1 carry, so that his second carry has 2 yards on the night and got him around the edge. 3 minutes and 11 seconds left. Ticking down here on the Quest Interior scoreboard. It's the third quarter, and Springs looking to continue to move the football. Here's the turn. It's Koenigs. Oh, he finds a hole. Koenigs, if he can beat one guy, he's going to be to the house. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5, dives, touchdown. Springs takes it 65 yards. It's J.T. Koenigs, his second touchdown run of the night. First one went for 10. This one goes for 65, and Springs retakes the lead, 13-12. You could have driven a small pickup truck through that hole by that offensive line, and there was maybe one arm that got a hand on J.T. Koenigs, but he was gone just about from the snap. Rotman on for the extra point, trying to stay perfect this season, and he is. A 2-point lead for Springs, 14-12, 2:50 to go in the third quarter. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back with more. You're watching Springs football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Are you unsure of what career path you want to take? Musa Sheet Metal is looking for motivated individuals to join their highly regarded apprenticeship program. Throughout the program, you'll learn the skills to be able to run your own job site. A career at Musa Sheet Metal is a chance to join a driven team working together to design and build products to help build communities. Learn more at musasheetmetal.com. That's musasheetmetal.com.
Build products that build communities. Apply at musasheetmetal.com.
Hi, this is Danny and Heather with AirTech Heating. At AirTech, our motto is honesty, integrity, and quality craftsmanship.
When it comes to your home, you want the person working on your equipment to be upfront and tell you what you need.
But also what you don't need. We deliver whatever it takes service to take care of you. Our technicians are NATE certified, meaning they are the most highly trained in the industry to be servicing your equipment.
If you're stuck with a broken furnace or air conditioner, call our team at AirTech Heating at 924-6742.
It's a 14-12 lead for St. Mary's Springs. They've retaken the lead, and with the way their defense is playing, Rotman sends it deep. It's going to be caught there by Braylon Goebel. No pitch to Maddox Goebel, and Goebel goes up the left side. Nice tackle made there. Number 24, Brendan Gertig on the kickoff coverage. Nice play by him. It's going to be out near the 23-yard line, and Springs has done a nice job on special teams coverage so far today. 14-12 on the Quest Interior scoreboard. No first down that time. Addison Jones is moving the chains for us today, but only a 2-play drive that time. J.T. Koenigs 65 yards to the house. And I wasn't sure if number 5, Brady Long, one of the defensive backs from Darlington, was going to catch him. He just about did at the end, but Koenigs would have run through that arm tackle anyway. Here is Braylon Goebel, and he picks up 3. So a 2nd and 7, and as I mentioned, the last couple of possessions, it's 2 straight 3-and-outs and then a 5-and-out. So Springs defense playing much better over the last 3 possessions than maybe a little bit earlier in that first half. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the third quarter. It's a tight one. Number 1 and number 4 in Division 6. So both ranked as if they'll be playing in a state semifinal as they did a year ago. Both teams have high expectations. It's a running back pass. Goebel to Goebel down the left or right side of the field. Now Goebel trying to make a couple of men miss, and Springs tackles him at the 30-yard line. That play from the 26 to the opposing 30, and make that a 34-yard pickup, or pardon me, a 44-yard pickup. It was Braylon Goebel to Maddox Goebel on the running back pass for 46 into Springs territory. Burbach under center. And I think Springs is going to be forced to use a timeout here. They are. 1 minute and 38 seconds left here in the third quarter. It's a 2-point Springs lead, but Darlington's moving the football. We're going to take a 30-second timeout, come back. This is Springs football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Baker Cheese, producing award-winning cheese since.
Back here at Fruth Field, minute 38 to go here in the third quarter. 14-12. The last time Springs took the lead, Springs scored the first points of the game on that 10-yard JT Koenigs touchdown. Right after that, it was the big pass to Goebel. Here is Maddox Goebel cutting his way back to the right and picking up about 4 tough yards for the Redbirds. And same thing here. Right after Springs retakes the lead, 14-12, then they do the running back pass. It was flipped from Burbach to Braylon Goebel, and then he finds Maddox Goebel up, once again, this same right side of the field. So Burbach back under center. Turn, give Maddox Goebel. He's over 150, probably nearing 200 total yards once I have a chance to add it up. I think he's going to pick up the first down here, although they haven't stopped the clock, so maybe he's just a touch short on third down. Yeah, third down, so it's going to be 3rd and inches. Picked up about 5 yards on that one. Down to the Springs 26, just outside the, or pardon me, down to the Springs 20. Just outside the 20-yard line, which is where the first down chains are marked. Burbach under center. Turn, give to Braylon Goebel, and Goebel's going to have the first down rather easily. He's going to pick up about 5 yards on the carry. So I'll stop the clock there for the first down with 27 seconds left in the third. And inside the red zone goes the Redbirds. Ball's spotted at the 17-yard line. And they're just going to send their team over to the sideline, watch the third quarter clock tick out, and we're going to take a quick timeout before sending it to the fourth quarter. In the third, Springs able to retake the lead. They outscored Darlington 7-0 in that quarter. The Quest Interior scoreboard says 14-12. Fourth quarter coming up next. This is Springs football. You're watching on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Baker Cheese, producing award-winning cheese since 1916. Not only can you find fresh Baker cheese at your local grocer, make the short drive to their in-house country cheese store. Over 100 varieties of other cheeses from the best cheesemakers in Wisconsin. Take Highway 23, go south on G 3 miles, and follow the freshness. Visit bakercheese.com. Baker Cheese, a Wisconsin cheese heritage since 1916.
For over 100 years, the name Cole is synonymous with quality fuels, lubricants, and propane. That's because Cole is the area's trusted source for farm, construction, and trucking companies, as they partner with these companies to help them achieve their unique goals. The team at Cole Oil and Propane is dedicated to serving you. They pride themselves on a customer-first approach and work hard to make sure you're satisfied. You can rely on Cole for prompt delivery, competitive prices, and quality service. Learn more at ColeOilAndPropane.com.
Back here at Fruth, 14-12. I'm not going to say anything about the weather right now. I shouldn't even have said that. 17-yard line. So far, everything is holding off for us here at Fruth. Hopefully that continues to be the case. 12 minutes left as we start the fourth quarter. Get things switched over, and scoreboard now reads 4. 14-12. Been a good game today. Both teams would probably say it hasn't been quite perfect, but both of these defenses and offenses have traded blows, and Darlington trying to land the latest blow here as they're into the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 17. Burbach keeps the football up the middle, and it's stripped out, but they're going to say he was down first. That would have been a big play by Levi Hempfner. He's made several of them already today, but it's a 5-yard pickup on 1st down from Burbach. 2nd and 5. Told you I shouldn't have said anything. The rain's starting to sprinkle down out there. Both Goebels out in the backfield. Burbach instead keeps it up the middle. There's an early flag. I don't know what they got on that one. Looks like, obviously, any time on a running play you see a flag that early, you would assume maybe it's a holding penalty. There it is. That came from the umpire right behind the defensive line. And it's going to move Darlington back to the 20-yard line. Flag sits at the 10, so spot foul from there, I would imagine. Yeah, they're going to mark it off from the 10. So ball will be placed at the 20-yard line, which will set up a 2nd and 13 about. Yeah, 2nd and 13. My math is not that bad, I guess. 11 minutes and 19 seconds and ticking here in the final frame. Burbach in the backfield with just Braylon Goebel. My guess is they'll give it to him. There is Braylon Goebel, although at the top of the screen, Maddox Goebel was on that right side, and he's wreaked havoc over there. A couple of receptions for Maddox Goebel. Not able to see. I think he gained about a yard on that one. Couldn't tell where the spot was going to come in. So it's going to set up a 3rd and 12. Springs has done a nice job here in this second half. This is the longest possession and certainly the most yards racked up by Darlington in the second half. Will Murray's to the top of the screen. Haven't heard from him yet today. The tight end is Carver Fitzsimons, who we haven't heard from today either. It's been the Goebel show. Here is Burbach looking back. There is Fitzsimons. Catches the football on a little bit of a screen setup on that side of the field. Well read by Springs. First man there was number 25, Brendan Gertig. And again, I keep saying his name. Tom Kaufman was there to clean it up. He's always got his nose in on it, if nothing else, for the Ledgers. 4th and 8. What is the plan here for the Redbirds? This is a time when you really wish you had a reliable field goal kicker. I'm sure of that. 9 minutes and 39 seconds. They're going. 4th and 8. Field goal would take the lead, but they're not comfortable with it. Burbach looks over the middle of the field. Picked off at the goal line. It's number 8, Gavin Jans around. I almost said Ramaker. It's Gavin Jans with the pick And he turns back over to Springs. The Ledger faithful on their feet. And it's out to the 16-yard line. Big play, second turnover forced by the Ledgers. First one was that first half interception from Levi Hempfner, and this one's a big one. Well read by the safety, Gavin Jans, stepping into the passing lane, picking it off, and also taking it back out to the 16, giving his team a little bit of breathing room. Now can Hempfner and company, can they run out this clock or at least take a good chunk of it off the scoreboard? That'll be the question. JT Koenig's going to pick up, well, let's give him 2 on that one. It's his 2 touchdowns that have the Ledgers out in front, 14-12. The difference in this one coming from the inability, as it were, of Franklin to not score either of their 2-point conversion tries. One from the 1-yard line, and the other one was just a normal 2-point conversion. And got an offside penalty on Springs. Not sure who that was whistled on, but it's going to back Springs up. And when you're trying to keep the ball on the ground and run out keep the clock moving as you're up by 2 late in this ball game, 8 minutes and 45 seconds left. Certainly the clock keeps moving after the penalty, but sets you up with a 2nd and 13. What does Springs do here? Here's a pitch. That's Bauer. Bauer trying to get to the edge. Good pursuit. And was there a face mask there, I think is going to end up being the question. Maddox Goebel was the man, but it's pointed to Springs. So are they going to say, oh, they're going to say Bauer pulled the face mask. I mean, he just had a stiff arm out. And the Springs coaching staff, a couple of coaches have their hands on their head. I don't think they can believe that just a stiff arm was whistle. I mean, didn't grab it or twist it or anything of that type of nature. But they're figuring out where to march it off from. They're going to decline the penalty because Goebel did such a nice job on the pursuit. Springs picked up a couple on that play. Ball is at the 15-yard line. They got to get to the 26, 3rd and 11. So I guess the pickup was of 2 there for Bauer. 3rd down and 11. King under center, got a couple of receivers to the top of the screen. He's looking that way. Bullet pass picked off, and this is going to be a pick 6. Making another massive play for the Redbirds is Maddox Goebel. The sophomore has a 69-yard touchdown catch and now a 15-yard pick 6. I didn't see who King was throwing the ball to, and a learning opportunity here for Cullen King. As you know, you're up by 2 points, and your defense has held the Redbirds off of the scoreboard in the second half. So this is an important 2-point try as well. Springs is down by 4. And Goebel gets tripped up. Nice job there defensively. I think Ramaker once again was the first one there. We're going to take a timeout and come back. Springs now trailing 18-14 on the pick 6 by Goebel. Maddox Goebel made a big play. Take a timeout, come back. This is Springs Football on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Real estate is something that we are doing together. We're in it together till the end. The best achievement that I can have is when the property successfully closes.
Probably the most rewarding part of my role with Addison Jones and Signature Homes is the ability to take a client from the very beginning stages of building a new home all the way down to the point where we turn the key and move them in and watch their eyes light up as they see the finished product.
Buy it, Sell it, build it. That's Addison Jones.
Back here at Fruth, and a big play there made by Maddox Goebel. He's done a lot. I mean, he's approaching 200 total yards this afternoon. Made a couple of big catches. He's been the leading man on the ground for them, and then steps in front of a Cullen King pass, and just one that, I think King is certainly going to want back. So 18-14, Springs got to bounce back after that mistake and see if they can't pull this one back late on in the fourth quarter. Here is the return, and busting his way through a couple of broken tackles is Brendan Gertig, and that's a good starting field position for the Springs at their own 38-yard line. 7:51 to go in this afternoon's ball game. The rain continues to team down here at Fruth. I guess you kind of wonder if maybe that had something to do with it as well. Maybe the ball was a little wet. I don't know. But nonetheless, Springs finds themselves in a situation where they got to put the ball back into the end zone one more time here this afternoon if they want to come out on top. Here's Hempfner. Hempfner runs straight into Maddox Goebel. Guess who? Goebel, 5'7", 168 pounds. Linebacker. Still three yards for Hempfner. Like I said, anytime you're able to cut down Hempfner for anything less than 5, I think you got to consider that a little bit of a win. 2nd and 7. Springs trailing by 4. I guess if you're doing the math game, Springs' ability to get the extra point. This one trying to set up a screen, trying to get the ball to Ramaker out on the edge, and a great tackle made out there. That's number 5, Brady Long, the defensive back, has made a couple of nice plays. No gain on that one for Lucas Ramaker. Might have even lost. Yeah, they're going to spot it at the 40, so he lost a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 8. Tough situation here for Springs. 6 minutes and 47 seconds, and on the other sideline, you have Caden Burbach, Maddox Goebel, Braylon Goebel. Got some guys who are able to move the football on the ground, keep that clock churning, and with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left, that's not what you want when you're trailing the ball game. So a big 3rd down here. Movement up front, and I think one of the Springs linemen flinched. They did. A false start's going to turn it into a 3rd and 13. So some uncharacteristic mistakes here late on for the Ledgers. Sets them in a tough situation. I think it's going to be an interesting question here as Springs comes to the line. They're going to roll the clock. It's going to get close to 6 minutes by the end of this play. Is it 4-down territory? Certainly it depends on what you get here. Oh, screaming off the edge, unblocked, and sacking Cullen King is number 6 once again, Carter Murray. Carter Murray, that's the 2nd time he's come off the edge today unblocked, and Cullen King's had no chance. He's going to lose another 7 yards. It's going to be 4th and 20. So after you star a play, you star that pick from Gavin Jans at the goal line that you think maybe Springs can keep the ball on the ground, maybe try to run some clock here. They're going to punt to Maddox Goebel. Nice punt from Ramaker. It's going to be down inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line, which is where the next possession will start for the Redbirds. And, again, going back to that, I mean, you pick them off. You think that you had all the momentum on the Spring side. Then you throw the pick 6 and then a quick 3-and-out to give the ball straight back to Darlington. Once again, Darlington, the number 4 ranked team in Division 6. Springs sits atop those rankings after an impressive 27-0 win a week ago against Lake Country Lutheran, in which they forced 3 turnovers. Man, could they use another one here. They've got 2 already today. Couple of picks of senior quarterback Caden Burbach, and they're in their heavy running sets, as you might expect. This is Ross Christ up the gut for 4. Noah Mowell was the first one there, as they said on the PA. 2nd and 6 for Burbach and company. We're going to tick under 5 minutes before this ball is snapped, and this is a case where you're ahead and the clock looks frozen. When you're behind, that time just melts away, although not much melting anymore as the rain comes down here at Fruth Field and the sky is gray. Springs hoping to turn this back around. Burbach takes the snap, turn, no, he's going to keep it, and Burbach's going to fall forward, reach the ball out, gets to the 31-yard line, sets up a 3rd and short. Depends on the spot here, but it looks like a 3rd and 2. About 4 yards on the pickup. 4 minutes and 24 seconds to go. Starting to reach do or die territory for this Springs defense. Got to get a stop here. If they're able to cause a loss of yardage, perhaps they can take a timeout and preserve it here. The turn, the give, and a nice play by number 49, Tommy Koenigs. And was he able to pull the Darlington player down? They're going to wind the clock because he's short. It's going to be 4th and inches. And so they're going to stop it perhaps for a official measurement with 3:56. The turn and the give was to Christ, and Christ got only a yard according to the officials. .356, 14-18, he's short. Springs holds, now decision time for Darlington. If you are Coach Winkers, how do you deal with this? Do you stay aggressive or do you send out a punt team? Do you go with a big jumbo package? I'll tell you what, with both Maddox and Braylon Goebel, it's been very tough to stop Ross Christ up the middle as well. Maddox Goebel is going to drop deep. No one is back deep to return for Springs. They are, something doesn't smell right to Springs here, so they're not going to send anyone deep. Keep everyone close to the line of scrimmage. 3 minutes and 42 seconds and ticking. They're going to wait for the back judge to put his hand up, start counting, and then Maddox Goebel will snap the ball. He runs, takes a couple steps, low line drive punt. Springs will stay away from it, and it'll be downed there by Ty Christ at the 34-yard line. 33, check that. With 3 minutes and 27 seconds, Springs defense does their job. And it's up to the offense for St. Mary's Springs now with 3 minutes and 25 seconds left. See if they can take a late lead and steal one again from the Redbirds. They've had Darlington's number over the course of certainly over the course of last season. Can they do it again this season? Cullen King drops back to pass, has a man near side. That is Kuhn, and Kuhn is driven down as soon as he catches it. It's a pickup of 7, bring up 3rd and 3. Pardon me, 2nd and 3. Sorry about that. King able to complete his second pass since the pick 6 happened. 2nd and 3. 2 minutes and 55 seconds. King takes the snap under heavy pressure, finds Kuhn on the far side. Sam Kuhn pulls it in, and another pickup of 6 yards that time. That was a nice job. A quick read had to be made. Cullen King made the read and picked up 6 out to the 46-yard line, 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Got to put the ball in the end zone here for the Ledgers. One receiver down to this near side, one receiver to the top. That's Ramaker. On the bottom down here, it is Ahern. That's where they're looking, and Ahern not able to get his hand up to it. Good defense. Brady Long on the coverage, and the pass a little too high from King. That last play, Springs able to get a first down. First down means moving the chains presented by Addison Jones. Addison Jones Real Estate, call them, then call the movers. 2 minutes and 29 seconds left in this one. Number 1 in the state on the ropes, although it's the number 4 team in the state that they're playing, so no big upset here. No doubt about that. And I'm sure Darlington has had this one circled on their calendar for a long, long time. King on a double move, has Ramaker, goes up and catches the football. Lucas Ramaker, what a play. Just out-jumped a guy. And you go back to the coach's smile interview there in the first half. By the way, that's going to be a 26-yard gain. What did you hear Coach Highland say about throwing the ball to Ramaker? Just get the ball up in the air and let your big guy go make the play. That's what King did there. Well-placed ball. Ramaker paid it off well. Here's Hempfner. Hempfner around this near side. Tries to get the edge. Able to get the edge. He's out of bounds inside the red zone. Now Springs is moving the football. Gain of 14 on the play for Hempfner. And now you can feel the attitude and the mood start to shift a little bit here at Fruth. Now all of a sudden, maybe the Redbirds, here we go again. I don't know. 2 minutes and 3 seconds left. Hempfner able to get it out of bounds. Springs trails by 4. Clock stopped. King under center, and now a timeout taken by Darlington. We're going to take it with them. Catch our breath. We got the last 2 minutes and 3 seconds coming up in just a second. You're watching Springs football. You're watching on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Integrity Saw and Tool is a proud sponsor of Fond du Lac area sports. They wish the best of luck to all local teams this fall and winter. Integrity prides itself on being the fastest producer of high-quality cutting tools and providing the most reliable sharpening service in the industry. If you're looking for a challenging career with excellent benefits and a family atmosphere, contact the team at IntegritySaw.com. That's IntegritySaw.com.
Back here at Fruth, 2 minutes and 3 seconds left on the Quest Interior scoreboard. That reads the Redbirds 18 and the Ledgers 14. Springs has it 1st and 10 inside the red zone at the 15-yard line. This has been a very, very nice drive. The big play coming just a couple of plays ago, a 26-yard completion from just a dime from Cullen King. Threw it up to Lucas Ramaker. That was right on cue. You go back to the interview with Coach Highland before the game. That was one of the things he mentioned is get the ball up to Ramaker. Here's Hempfner. Hempfner puts his hand on his offensive line. Now going to plow forward. He's going to pick up about 4.5. We'll give him 4 on the carry. He's down to the 11. Just outside the 10. And set up a 2nd and 5. It's going to be either a long 5 or a 2nd and 6. 1 minute and 41 seconds now here in this ball game. King under center. Turn, give to Koenigs. He's scored twice today. Hops over a couple of Darlington Redbirds players and down to the 8-yard line, pickup of 3. Sets up a 3rd and 3. Third and 3. 4 down territory, no doubt about it. Here's King. Give to Hempfner. Hempfner lowers his head. Carries a couple of Redbirds towards the goal line. Is he in? He is! Levi Hempfner. And Springs retakes the lead. Under a minute to play. And the top team in the state, I think, is just showing you why they're ranked there. From the 8-yard line, Levi Hempfner carries a couple of Darlington Redbirds into the end zone. Springs leads it 20-18. And an important PAT coming up for Rotman. Although that being said, there has not been many kicking opportunities so far for the Redbirds this season. Low snap, and it's going to be a broken play here, trying to get to the top edge. Nice job to string it out and make the tackle. Gertig tried to run it in from the low snap that was in the dirt. 59 seconds left here. And we're going to keep it right here. Coming up in about a minute, we'll have the Fox Valley Savings Bank postgame show. All of that coming up. We'll give you a player of the game, play of the game. I think we got some early contenders for that. But Springs has some work to do. Rotman's going to send it deep. You got to be careful from both Goebels. Braylon Goebel and Maddox Goebel will both be deep as they have been all afternoon. And Maddox Goebel has been a thorn in the side of the Ledgers this afternoon. 20-18, 59 seconds on the Quest Interior scoreboard. High school sports today on RadioPlusInfo.com, presented by Edward Jones and your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, they are making sense of investing. So the Ledgers, for the third time today, have taken the lead. We've had 5 lead changes over the course of the game. And Rotman sends this one deep. Maddox Goebel ends up standing in his end zone. He's out to the 15, cuts back upfield. Oh, tries to cut back upfield. Once again, John Kuhn on the coverage. Kuhn has been a monster on special teams, and it's going to be a long field ahead for the Redbirds. They'll start at their own 15-yard line, got to go 85 yards, and they only have 52 seconds to do it. They've had a couple of big plays so far today, both of those going to Maddox Goebel. Goebel had a 69-yard catch from the quarterback, Caden Burbach, and then let's see here in the second half, it was a 46-yard reception from Braylon Goebel. Burbach in the backfield. It looks like a passing set here. It's pitched back around. Here is Maddox Goebel. He makes a man miss, does another shimmy, tries to cut back upfield, cuts it back to the right. Now breaks a couple of tackles. Oh, cut down, nice play. That is Gertig, who, it was an 11-yard pickup, but he might still be running. Talking about Maddox Goebel. If Gertig didn't cut him down there. Under 40 seconds to play, 38, counting down. Here's a deep shot. This one is well overthrown. Will Murray was the intended receiver. Josiah Mowell, one of the top defensive backs for the Springs, was in coverage. Take the, 6 seconds to take the shot and then stop the clock for yourself there if you're the Redbirds. 20-18. 2nd and 10. Again, that was a big play by Gertig to cut down Maddox Goebel. Goebel is just so slippery. Difficult to bring down. Backwards pass. And it's thrown from Goebel back over here to Burbach. Burbach's got some room, but he has to go out of bounds. So a nice job by Springs to rally to the football. It's going to be a gain of 8. Generally, I would think if you're going to do a running back, pass back to the quarterback, you're hoping to get more than 8, but they did get out of bounds. It's 3rd and 2, though, and it's starting to look dire here for the Redbirds. It's an offense that, if they had their way, wouldn't have to push the ball downfield like they're going to have to here. Very preventative look here for Springs. Another running back throw, and this one's going to be picked. Josiah Mowell pulls it down, and Springs is going to win this one. Just got to hang on to 3 snaps. My guess is Darlington's going to use the timeouts, make you snap the football. As long as Springs can handle a couple of snaps, kneel down on this wet Fruth field turf, they're going to win this afternoon against one of the top 4 teams in Division 6. Just a gritty performance by the Ledgers. And, if I'm Darlington, I'm going to make them snap this 3 times with the conditions being what they are, wet football. You have 2 timeouts. We'll see. Maybe they just let it run out, but it is a difficult, potentially a difficult situation. They are not going to use their timeouts. They're going to walk off the field. And for the third time in just about a calendar year, the St. Mary's Springs Academy Ledgers found a way against the Darlington Redbirds. The final score from Fruth Field, 20-18. Springs guts out a win over the Darlington Redbirds. We're going to come back. We'll take a timeout here. Come back with the Fox Valley Savings Bank post-game show. Hope you'll stick around with that. We'll call a play of the game. We'll let you know the player of the game and get you a few statistics to close things out here. Coming back after this. This is Springs Football on Radio Plus Info.
Come on. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, come on, show me. Come on. Come on. Well, come on. Come on. Yeah. Good boy. Come here. Come on.
Jackson, are you going to come over here?
Hi everyone, I'm Josh Schneider with Silica for Your Home. We get innovative products in every day at Silica. I think one of the coolest things we have right now is something we don't even sell, our new digital price tags. We know you're busy, so these tags do the shopping for you. They search the internet twice a day, and if they find a product at a lower price, it automatically changes the Silica price. Shop Silica for the best sales, service, and pricing every day. So come on in and check them out. We hope to see you soon.
Apply now to qualify for the SABRE Award, a $500 per year scholarship at Marian University. Be admitted by January 1st and receive a $2,000 scholarship towards your degree. The SABRE Award is granted in addition to other scholarships, awards, and discounts. 100% of Marian University students receive financial assistance. College is affordable. Apply now at marianuniversity.edu/apply.
What can I get for $5?
You can become a member of Fond du Lac Credit Union and get some pretty amazing benefits.
Really? Like what?
As a member of Fond du Lac Credit Union, you can take advantage of all that they have to offer, including fewer fees, the best loan rates, in-house lending, and access to all the amazing programs and services.
Wow!
The cherry on top, when you become a member, you become part owner.
That sounds like a great deal for only $5.
Sure is. And it's super simple to sign up.
I'd like to order that.
Oh, I'm sorry. We only sell coffee here.
Real estate is something that we are doing together. We're in it together till the end. The best achievement that I can have is when the property successfully closes.
Probably the most rewarding part of my role with Addison Jones and Signature Homes is the ability to take a client from the very beginning stages of building a new home all the way down to the point where we turn the key and move them in and watch their eyes light up as they see the finished product.
Buy it, sell it, build it. That's Addison Jones.
Welcome back here to Fruth. Jordan King with you up in the broadcast booth here at Fruth, and talk about a gritty performance by Coach Hyland's crew. Something that you're not, if you're familiar watching this team, you're not shocked to see that. But they had to dig deep late in this one. I mean, looked like the Ledgers were in complete control. You had a pick from the goal line. Gavin Jan stepped into the path of a Caden Burbach pass and picked it off, took it back out to the 16-yard line. You thought, man, Springs, the way they were able to move the ball in the second half, maybe, this is an opportunity for them to finish this thing out. And on that next possession, it was a pick six from Cullen King, and someone that just, you tip your hat to Maddox Goebel. We'll get to that in just a second. But then all of a sudden, you go from being in the driver's seat to, we're gonna have to fight to win this game at all. Down 18-20, and on that last possession, a couple of guys took over, a couple of big plays, good throws made by Cullen King, and then one of your leaders, Levi Hempfner, who late was able to, on that last possession alone, he picked up, let's see here, doing some quick math in my head, 26 yards, scored the touchdown, and on that drive, your senior quarterback, Cullen King, goes 3 for 4 for 37 yards, 39 yards, and able to be a big part of that final drive victory as well. talk about some statistics here. We're going to start with Darlington. They had a couple players that really stood off the stat sheet. Number 23 is Braylon Goebel. He finished with 42 yards and a touchdown, one of their running backs in the backfield. And then their second player and top player today, certainly, Maddox Goebel. 83 yards on the ground, 115 yards receiving, 198 total yards when everything's all said and done, and that's not including return yards. So just yards from scrimmage, 198 yards, scored one touchdown. It was that pick six, and really set up his team to win the ball game. It was just, you got beat by a better team today. Springs made the plays down the stretch. On Springs side, we will name a Marian University player of the game. Marian University has many different programs to choose from. Log on to marianuniversity.edu to get started today. You could pick from several players. I thought Ramaker had a nice day on the defensive side of things, but I think you got to talk about Levi Hempfner, who, against this tough rushing attack, his linebacking core that he's part of leading, he had a great great afternoon on the defensive side of the football. Several tackles for loss. He had 3 at halftime alone. He wreaked havoc when they wanted to run the ball up the middle. Couple of a single fourth down stop. Second one, he was in on it, and just had a terrific night on the defensive side. Oh, by the way, he also had that pick that set up the first touchdown for Springs. And then on the ground, 67 yards, and like I mentioned, 26 yards on that final possession, as well as the game-winning touchdown with just 58 seconds left to give Springs the 20-18 win over the number 4 ranked team in the state in their division. So Springs, you would imagine, will stay number 1 after knocking off a top 5 team here at home, and really putting a stake in the ground here in Division 6, saying, look, this is still our division until we prove otherwise. So nice job by them. BCI Burke play of the game, now hiring in different departments and shifts. Log on to burkecareers.com. Look, you could certainly go with that 8-yard touchdown scamper from Levi Hempfner, but how about Cullen King and that 26-yard jump ball he threw up to Lucas Ramaker, and Ramaker pulled it down, contested catch, wrestled it away from the defensive back. Brady Long Brady Long had a terrific game all afternoon for Darlington, and just out-jumped there by Ramaker. And Ramaker, that 26-yard pickup was a big reason that drive was able to continue. They were in long territory, and that really shortened the field, allowed them to get Hempfner involved, and then Hempfner did it from there with those 26 yards and the touchdown. So that's our play of the game, brought to you by BCI Burke, burkecareers.com. AirTech presents our next game broadcast. Appleton East coming up here on Friday night here at Fruth Field. We'll take on Fondy. Also on Radio Plus Info, WLA travels down to Lamira. That's where I'll be. Looking forward to that one. So a couple of different options coming up here next week here on RadioPlusInfo.com. Springs moves to 2-0, sends the Darlington Redbirds to 1-1. Just I'll tell you what, just a fun afternoon at the football field today here at Fruth, taking in a couple of really, really good Division 6 programs. Springs comes out on top in this one. They made all the plays down the stretch in order to secure the 20-18 win. Springs moving on in their season. They'll come back here next weekend as well. Springs has Laconia, so 3 home games for Springs to start off the season: Lake Country, Lutheran, Darlington, and then Laconia coming up next Saturday. Thanks for joining us here today. Thanks to the great crew braving the elements this afternoon, hoping the rain was going to hold off, but they battled through the raindrops out there and did a great job for us. So for them and for me, Jordan King, saying so long here from Fruth Field. Ledgers win it, 20-18. This has been Springs football, and you've been watching on RadioPlusInfo.com.
Dr. Shane Bauer of Bauer Chiropractic for progressive and traditional chiropractic care. If you're in pain, Bauer Chiropractic offers unique ways to provide relief for many types of pain and conditions. New to this area is MLS Class 4 cold laser therapy, which can be very effective with treating many nagging injuries such as plantar fasciitis, tennis elbow, shoulder pain, knee pain, and many others. Pain relief and prevention are 2 reasons to see Dr. Shane Bauer at 355 North Peters Avenue, Fond du Lac, or log on BauerChiroFDL.com.
March & Schmidt has been a global leader in the manufacture of industrial food cutting solutions for over 55 years. Our staff is committed to using leading-edge technology to create custom designs specifically for the food industry. March & Schmidt is proud of our manufacturing process and strive to produce the highest quality machinery every day. We're focused on one thing, satisfying our customers and giving them the best quality product. A complete turnkey solution provider, integrating both processing and packaging equipment. Our team is focused on our customers' overall success, while the family values drive our relationships.
Real estate is something that we are doing together. We're in it together till the end. The best achievement that I can have is when the property successfully closes.
Probably the most rewarding part of my role with Addison Jones and Signature Homes is the ability to take a client from the very beginning stages of building a new home all the way down to the point where we turn the key and move them in, and watch their eyes light up as they see the finished product.
Buy it, sell it, build it. That's Addison Jones.
Broadcast is sponsored by the following local partners.
Edward Jones, Integrity Saw and Tool, Bauer Chiropractic,
Bondi Family Dental, Baker Cheese, Right Way Home Improvement,
Quest Interiors, Addison Jones Real Estate, Holiday Automotive,
Taco Bell, Bristol Morgan Bank, Coal Oil and Propane,
Pioneer Pit Stop, The Spectrum Call Center, Pizza Ranch,
National Exchange Bank and Trust, LK Interior Systems, Silica for your home,
Radom & Stone Landscape, the offices of Everson and Gibbs, Bob's Pizza,
AirTech, Winnebago Lutheran Academy, Musa Sheet Metal,
Scotty's Auto Works, St. Mary Springs Academy, Canberra Casino,
Fond du Lac Credit Union, March & Schmidt, New Medical Center, Dr. Kathy Doyle Kelly, DDS,
Condex Corporation, Fox Valley Savings Bank, BCI Burke, Marian University.
The complete broadcast schedule can be found at radioplusinfo.com.